story. Kaboom has not been pushed off the turrets until they grab it. And the Nexus turret almost about to go down. Alliance has too much on their plate to consider. That's the fight. The control onto left. They are able to take him down. Danagorn. Oh my God! Alliance down.
Welcome back, everybody, to another Sunday evening as we get into a banger of a series. We have DSG, DSG versus Instinct. There we go.
Should be a great series. The best of three if you guys are just joining for the first time. Welcome. My name is Sheepy, and I'm joined today by Anti-Tankers on the casting desk. And this is going to be a really good series, really good game. Both these teams. I think we've watched a little bit of DSG so far in the tournament. We haven't yet seen Instinct. A little bit of a different roster to the standard roster, but nonetheless, it should be a definite good series. And yeah, I mean, what are your predictions? What are your thoughts? Do you have any caster's curse? Any preference so far?
I definitely love to see the drafts first, but if I had to go just like based on my feeling, probably Instinct has a bit of an edge here. I just think that, this team seems really stacked in terms of elo. And we just started with Champ Select, so we should be jumping in there in a second.
At the draft. Oh.
Yeah, so just refreshing that cache for a second. Here we are. Let's start talking about it. We have DSG banning out Gnar in their first rotation.
Did we leak the script
and Seraphine.
Did we leak the draft before it was finished, Kappa? But like you're saying, look at the draft. Going straight for the supports, actually. Seraphine taken out as well as Thresh. Feels like perhaps Mickey taking part in this match, seeing as he is a Thresh Seraphine 2-trick currently, but not the case, as we do have the Gnar and the Caitlyn ban. What are your thoughts on the Kate ban?
It's a little. I'm guessing it must be like a comfort pick. The Senna ban makes a lot of sense, but the Kate ban feels a little bit odd to me. Maybe there's something specific they want to play, like a very short range AD carry that doesn't do well into Caitlyn, and that's kind of what their thoughts are. The Seraphine is a great ban. If you watched the G2 series yesterday, you would have seen like Seraphine ADC. Seraphine ADC with Lucian mid lane. That was absolutely like this unkillable death bowl. It was pretty much like Sonataric from last season, but with just Seraphine healing being insane. And that's probably what they're avoiding there. The Volibear ban coming out. We've seen the high priority on Hecarim. No surprises to see that picked up. Hopefully, Instinct doesn't pick Aphelios here because we've seen that twice in a row.
I mean, okay,
Finally.
so let's just touch on this Maokai pick. I'm kind of very surprised. It seems like DSG has not done their research. We've got Yogi playing support for the side of Instinct, and he is a Maokai quote-unquote one-trick. Maokai is his go-to pick. He's master tier playing Maokai. So I mean, how do you let that through? I don't understand.
Yeah, like I'm thinking Senna ban. Thresh, like sure, I can understand the Gnar. I mean, you're banning Thresh if you want to ban the one tricks champ, rather ban the Maokai instead of a Thresh, I'm guessing.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially if you're going to be picking a Hecarim, then Thresh Aphelios is still not that strong because Hecarim is really good at diving Aphelios, and Thresh's one lantern is not going to save him from a whole lot of engage. Graves is a great pick to see here as well. No complaints at all.
Something kind of interesting is that both of these bot lanes actually play somewhat similar pool. We know that both INT and DSG bot lane, they like to run the Aphelios, they like to run the Senna. In this case, Senna banned away and Thresh banned as well, because Thresh is what they generally play with Aphelios. It gives him exactly what he needs, the reposition tool, the peel, the engage, and it basically just synergizes super well. So that's kind of my thought process for the DSG side bans so far.
Oh, Rel, I
the
called
prediction?
it. Yeah. So that we've been seeing all over the LEC. It is a super strong 2v2 lane, and I'm guessing maybe that's what DSG are thinking going into this game. They're thinking, hey, our answer into Maokai is Kaiserel. We're just gonna take the brawling to you.
But is it though?
I don't know. We'll really have to see. But like, I know that is a really strong 2v2 lane. So let's see what ADC they're gonna pick. Jinx, Maokai, Kaiserel. I don't know, man. I don't know. The fact is, though, that he is a master tier player, which is like he has a bit of an edge in elo there.
So Jinx is a new flavor that Mountain Raven's recently been picking up, it seems. He has kind of stepped away from the center affiliates. Obviously still playing it, but looking to pick up Jinx as she is pretty decent in the meta right now, starting to make her way through with the likes of Tristana, which I'm kind of surprised wasn't picked up. It was left open, but neither team's really prioritizing that Tristana pick, though we are seeing a lot more in international competitive. So
And we saw a lot of bans in the previous games as well.
exactly.
On this Tristana. Super odd, there's just like neither of these teams have any priority on it. I think it's probably like its flex pick potential, because it can go mid and it can also go bot lane. And I guess neither of these teams think that it's a priority.
Gangplank, on the other hand, taken away. So Gangplank's a bit of an interesting one. I genuinely only really see Gangplank being played when it's paired up with something along the lines of like a Karthus Nocturne. That trio combination becoming like super popular, I believe, the Korean scene, as well as starting to trickle into EU West. I'm not so sure about the SA scene yet. Maybe we do get that combo coming up later in the tournament, but for now, unfortunately, Gangplank banned away alongside the Silas and the Galio Shen.
Yeah, Galio Shen, both globals. Gangplank also globals. It seems like they're just trying to take globals off the board. Don't want to have to worry about a potential split push and kind of getting surprised by Galio ulti or Shen ulti or Gangplank ulti. And the other thing that's good with Galio, that is probably going to be Gragas top lane, and I'm so glad we can finally see that in the SA scene.
I mean, honestly, I'm looking at picking up Gragas support. Like, that to me is like the new flavor for the support lane. Gragas support basically having so many different variations of playstyle. You can go AP, you can go tank, engage, disengage. So I feel like
it's a new Maokai, basically.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. He's the new Maokai, but in this case, we will be seeing him either top or jungle, would most likely top with that Graves and Maokai lock-in. At the same time, you can keep in mind that the Maokai may be flexible to the top lane, so it's not a guaranteed support lock-in, but I'm like a 90% sure on that one.
There's a good chance that could be Gragas bot lane. The reason being, in LEC right now, Kaiser Rel's strongest counter is Gragas support. I think Gragas just has an ability to nullify the Rel's engage, which, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good chance at its top lane, and that Echo is definitely going to be mid. Victor. Okay. No, I mean, so the question is that Maokai top lane? Probably not, but Gragas is a really good counter pick into Rel in the bot lane, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did see Gragas support.
I mean, currently we have... oh, no, never mind, I spoke too soon. There's the swap. Do we get the counter swap? Do we get the swap back? 40 seconds left on the table. But currently, Victor now locked in for the mid lane for the side of Instinct. As for DSG, they've got the Wombat Corki, which we have seen a little bit in the past. Pretty decent. Could use a little bit of package work or like timing, I guess, from what we saw in the previous cast of theirs. It wasn't 100%, but maybe he's worked on it since then. Maybe went back and watched the cast. Nonetheless, looking at the team comps, the Sion lock-in, Sion super popular right now in competitive, so I like that pick. They have that front line. They've got the CC-based team comp, good tank front line with the Rull and Hecarim. So overall, the comp not looking too bad. What are your thoughts though? Draft win?
I'm confused as to why like Lucian is also not banned. Like, it's such a strong mid pick.
Maybe just
yeah, like no one.
You don't think really it's really have the games on the champion. I mean, like, generally with the SA scene especially, we tend to go for the comfort picks. If it's not practice, don't pick it just because it works in the matchup. You've got to keep that in mind. It's comfort first. And I think Lucian can be kind of tricky on outping as well. If you don't have the mechanics for it, it can end up resulting in that pick just not getting ahead in the early stages, and that's exactly what it needs to do. It wants to snowball, it wants to take that lead and translate it into a victory in the early stages, because if you don't get that advantage, you're basically just wasting the pick.
Oh yeah, 100%. I was just kind of thinking, like, if you want to play an ADC marksman mid, Corki, why not just play the Lucian? I guess Corki is AP, so there is that.
Scales really well as well.
I think exactly, yeah. So there are options. I'm not sure about this Corki pick. I feel like Lucian just happens to be a little bit stronger, and Corki takes a lot longer to scale up and get to where he needs to get.
So we did have the Victor Larkin coming in after Corki, so both basically late game scaling champions. Jinx as well scales incredibly well. We have Gragas top lane, and Graves. So overall, the Instinct comp not looking too bad towards the later stages. As for DSG, exactly the same. Nobody really falling off too hard, so we should have some quality late game teamfight fun. Bit of back and forth, but overall, if you had to apply the Caster's Curse, are we going with DSG or INT for the first game?
Comp-wise, I definitely think DSG's is fitting together a little bit better. Yeah, Sign wants to go in, Hecarim wants to go in, and also they have great peel with 2 ADCs. Well, I mean, they have 3 engages, which is the Hecarim, Sion, and the Rel, and then they have the 2 ADCs, which can just dish out damage. Although they are a little bit on the shorter range side compared to the side of INT. But, I mean, I think the biggest problem for me is that, like, I'm not seeing a front line other than Gragas here. Tank Maokai a thing?
Yeah,
Do
for sure.
play
There's Tank Maokai or AP Maokai. Both variations very, very strong. Maokai AP was nerfed a bit, but I do know Yogi likes the Maokai AP play or playstyle at higher up elos, so whether he runs at this game, I'm not entirely sure. You gotta keep in mind though, Graves does become incredibly tanky late game thanks to his passive if you can maintain that tenacity and basically resistances. Yeah. So
beautiful.
I mean, honestly,
Okay.
I could see AP Maokai being really, really decent into the likes of Rel, because Rel wants to play for brushes. She wants to control and look for those cheeky picks where she can step up and engage.
Exactly.
But Maokai Sapling is just so good into that, where he can just basically control brushes, deny any form of like Leona walk in, any form of Rel, that kind of thing. Plus, with the Sion and Hecarim, it's going to be incredibly difficult for them to step up when they are these saplings that basically just sap a quarter of your health.
Yep, exactly. And other than that, I think, yeah, both these team comps are looking good. I definitely just slightly favor DSG for... I feel like everything's a little bit more on theme, you know, it just feels like it's coming together. Whereas like Victor wants to control space, Maokai wants to control space. So we have that. I mean, technically so does Graves. So actually, I guess they're playing like a controlling of space kind of comp on the side of Instinct because... yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of these champions do. Even Jinx has an E which controls space. So, yeah. Never mind. That's the theme that Instinct is playing, I guess.
So we're going for Instinct first game?
Yeah, 100%. I think
Cool.
this Maokai is probably going to be a big problem.
Well, we'll see
to
you guys
deal
shortly
with.
when we do jump onto the Rift. We'll be right back. And we're live for game number 1 of the best of 3 series, DSG in blue, Instinct Esports in red. But if a cheeky invade, we do have Yogi stepping forward, so note the summoner spell of choice is going to be the Comet, which tells us 90% sure that it's going to be that AP Maokai variation, opposed to the tank, which you'd rather see the likes of an Aftershock.
Yeah, and Spell Thieves is also going to be coming out there. Super interesting stuff. Seems like they just got a ward down on the blue buff here, and probably just wanting to know where this Hecarim is starting to avoid any early gank shenanigans. And yeah, now people are just guarding and getting some vision. Seems like they're pinging the ward there on the blue side, and both teams have now got a ward on the blue. So that's great.
Alright, so Hecarim going for top side. Does he go for the bot lane switcheroo, or is he going to commit to the blue side start? He does seem to be happy with the blue start, so Roll Kaiser making their way back down towards bot lane to get that priority, as bot lane from the side of red have to actually pull for jungle Jonel. Yogi using the pass of the Maokai heal off of the camp to basically allow Jonel to be a little bit healthier in the jungle, which is not necessarily an issue because, I mean, it is Graves. He likes to kite, he likes to dash, so he shouldn't be taking too much damage in that clear anyway.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see that DSG's bot lane is getting some prior. You do want to give this lane some priority to see if they can make any early game plays. In the LEC, we're always seeing these level 1, level 2 fights, but doesn't seem like DSG is comfortable playing against this Maokai, as they take a lot of poke damage. Not really respecting that brush movement. Oh,
yeah, so that's like one of the benefits of the Maokai support, is that he has built-in sustaining in his kit. If you give him an opportunity, he's just going to basically maintain his health and look to take cheeky trades with you. He has got Spell Thieves, so he wants to play very aggro in the early stages, deal as much damage as he can, and potentially get those sapling brush-empowered kits. I don't know if that's happening in a kit. Looking kind of ambitious in that one.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused how DSG lost level 2 to Instinct, who didn't even have... I mean, they were leashing.
True.
It's... You honestly, like, I don't even think that's supposed to be... That's not okay. Also, you seriously want to abuse this level 1-2 of Rel Kaiser. It is super strong.
I agree.
And
Kaiser
just...
level 1 trade is incredibly strong, especially
we never
with that
see
isolated Q.
Rel. Yeah, Rel just sat there and never went in at all, which is... absolutely.
So Hecarim playing for bot side. Scuttle not spotting at 315. Graves still clearing his red side camps to clear a little bit slower, but at the same time, I think Graves perhaps making his way towards that top.
Looks like the bot lane with a prior are going to push this Hecarim away. Did he get that?
So playing bottom side of mid lane just to make sure that he has the ability to rotate down if they do need it. So now Hecarim sent towards the top side means that Graves could look for that contest. And Scuttle actually secured for the side of Instinct, for the bot side at least.
Wow, that is really nice. Yeah, now Graves is probably going to opt into this 1v1. Oh no, already Scuttle's picked up, but there is potential for a 2v2 brawl here in the top lane.
Graves half of the mid lane back and forth, both scaling champions, so we shouldn't see too much of commitment on the top side. Looks like Jonel perhaps lagging at that one, not too sure, I swear. Dropping kind of low, comes back in for the cheeky auto, but Scuttle has been secured topside, so both DSG and Instinct each picking up 1, but you gotta keep in mind that Jonel has actually gone for that full clear pose for the Scuttle.
Yeah, so it's not too bad that he lost the Scuttle, because he did clear his full jungle, whereas Hecarim didn't do the Krugs, which means that his Krugs are down. He's essentially down the camp in bot side that isn't going to be respawning and giving him more XP.
So Graves now really sitting on that mid vision ward, means that DSG are aware of where he is on the map, or where he should be at least. Now heading his way back towards bot side. We can kind of just see mid lane going as a bit of a back and forth wet noodle. I don't really see any solo kills or even gank kills coming through, as they both going to be playing pretty safe, just looking to try and play for the gold, look for the CS, look for the late game item power spikes, and potentially that late game 1v5 damage that we do know Corky and Victor for.
Ooh, Nick getting caught here in the bot lane. Just some trading coming out, nothing too crazy.
CS advantage, about up 10 or so in favor of bot side red. Yeah, this is one of those games where you have occasionally, it's like a nothing happens till it happens situation, where we're gonna see no kills until we get to that like 10-15 minute mark, and suddenly it's gonna be an absolute bloodbath of back and forths. On the other hand, Hecarim making his way down towards the bot side, so maybe we do get an attempt, but honestly, INT, bot lane, Red Raven, and Yogi in such a good spot unless Yogi steps up to commit, which he shouldn't with that AP Maokai. He just wants to poke. We're not going to see anything happen there. Like, Hecarim pre-6 cannot realistically gank the snack. Yogi forced to disengage flash to both. Summoners are burned for the side of red side, but unfortunately not going to be anything more than that. But gang, I guess successful.
Relatively, but again, that RAL play is like, it's 6 minutes late, if you ask me. Yeah, you can't give Maokai and Jinx an opportunity to scale. You really need to take them toe on right in the early game, like pushing for these engages super early. Like, if you had burnt this flash earlier on, this gank would have been 2 kills.
Okay, so I kind of like the intention with the DSG side looking to play for dragon objectives. They will go for the bot lane attempt into the rotation down. Jonan now seeing that dragon has been taken means that he can look for an attempt bot side. Top side. But at the same time, it is Graves and Gragas pre-6, so no reposition casket barrel available.
Damage in the mid lane, and yeah, we're just recalling back to base, pick up some items, and yeah, we got 2 noon quivers already on this side of Instinct, on the Graves and the Jinx. Tia, oh yeah, Tia is standard on Gragas, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we do have a couple of name changes coming through. Same players, just now all looking kind of a little bit more spicy, I guess, with the synchronized INT club tag, hashtag Instinct. As for DSG, looking for just Papa Smurfy rocking the tag. Actually, not alive, let's neck as well.
Yeah, there's 3 tags, but a little bit less than on the INT side. We do have some. What is the plan here for the Maokai?
Just get some vision done. Make sure that they don't get punished for the lack of flashes available now on bot side. So we should see Hecarim potentially finding that level 6, then looking to move it for bottom again. I don't realistically see a top lane or mid lane like Sit working out this game. So I'm hoping to see that Hecarim bot lane attention or punish at least of the summoners or lack of summoners.
Yeah, 100%. And also considering, like, if you can get a freeze as DSG here, it's really good. But I'm guessing based on, yeah, they didn't get the freeze. If you can get a freeze there with no flashes, that is exactly what you want to have.
So 8 minutes in Instinct, DSG gold, pretty much exactly even, 11.4 to 11.4. The back and forth, watching that gold chart just to make sure that either side doesn't pull ahead in the early stages. Both teams just looking to scale up, so we do have a bit of a slower game on our hands, unfortunately, but that means Tankers and I are gonna have a little bit more of dialogue, a little bit more conversation, less of that play-by-play gameplay, as top lane Rush looks to just hit Papa Smurfy with the wet noodle, saying hi. I still see you, don't do anything cheeky.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely nice to kind of have a break from constant play-by-play. We have a habit of having really high kill per minute games here in South Africa.
Red side teleport coming through for the mid. It's going to be Salt now down. Need to be careful. I mean, the dragon objective is going to be the main focus, it seems, for DSG. At least it has been up to this point. So having the teleport available or the package could be quite big. Iceway now working his way down towards that bot side. Does he get the sneak in the brush though?
No chance of sneaking into a brush with a Maokai. Oh, he actually does get it as the snake takes some free damage to get in there.
Ghost now popped Hecarim, Onslaught Shadows, no flash available, means that DSG are gonna get the pick beautifully executed. It's gonna be Red Raven going down for that first blood.
Yeah, unfortunately that kill does go over to Ral, which is a little bit tragic. You definitely want to give that to your Kai'Sa, but it is what it is. Just wanted to get some CC lockup there. And sucks to see it happen. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, we did have Harold going over to the side of Journal, who is probably going to be popping that middle top, I hope.
Right, so basically, Instinct looking to just try and trade that bot lane and play for the top side Rift Herald. Still time on the map, there's still a minute and a half until that Mountain Drake does spawn. Meanwhile, mid lane Wombat, a little bit overextended, pops the W, doesn't get. He has flash available still as the Ticken, not going to quite reach. There's the flash. As Jonel able to get right through, they have the movement speed, but Iceway coming through from the red side jungle. Jonel finds DSG Wombat, so that's 1-to-1 Instinct to DSG. Red side teleport commits as the jungler does go down. Salt forced to disengage flash as Wolf unable to find that skill shot connection. The fight now continues, the roots do come through. It's going to be Iceway down as Yogi support Maokai finds the kill into the Nick Wolf Kai'Sa. DSG Lesnek actually dead as INT find that T5 victory.
Wow. Yeah, that was just really, oof. It's really sad to see a little bit of overcommit there from the side of DSG, just kind of thinking that they can pick up another kill on the Victor there and not realizing like, hey, we're in really small choke points where this control comp that I mentioned about earlier really pops off. I think Victor stunned like 2 or 3 people. The Maokai is doing work. Like, it just, yeah, you do not want to be playing in tight corners in the jungle against this Instinct composition. Not to mention the TP coming out of Rosh.
It looked really, really good for the initial part for DSG. They were in a good spot. They got a kill, they got a trade, and then suddenly bot lane showed up, and DSG just weren't in a position to disengage. So I'd like to see whether the Dragon objective is handed over to Instinct off of the back of that play, but it seems like there is a little bit of downtime before it does spawn, which is now on the map. So Instinct not going to look for the move just yet. Bot lane, Maokai actually making his way through the jungle. Journal, sapling placement, a little bit of AP in the inventory for Yogi now, so he should be getting a little bit more damage. The onslaught does come through. He's going to reposition Killer Instinct, and Journal, rest in peace, jungler down for the side of Instinct. As Yogi, squishy as he is, has to respect. Everybody super low, however. Unfortunately, no rocket available still now. Cooldown is a flash, EQ combo, rush. Well, like a rush, Yogi secures the backline, lockdown places the sapling, looking to try and bait them towards us. Victor finds the damage. Proper Smurfy now stuck between 3 members on the side of INT. Flash prediction as he get it off. The W shield flash.
Jinx, no ulti on Jinx. Oh, does Rosh want to go for this?
Oh, no!
Oh, he doesn't have the ulti.
Not like this.
It's painful. Enough damage.
Okay, so Dragon is on the map. Journal heading towards bot side. He does not have the rift, it seems. Where did you miss it? Did they drop rift somewhere?
Yeah, he dropped rift in mid just like seconds before the fight broke out.
Explains the plating. Now top is in still. Minute and a half left on the plates. But this is potentially now putting the Dragons 1-1. Red side secure. And gold lead. Slight advantage to Instinct.
Definitely, but it's looking super, super close right now. And we went from a very calm game to a very bloody game very, very quickly. I mean, at this point, we're at like, what? Yeah, we're pretty much at like 1 kill a minute. so much for having a slow down game, hey?
I mean, that's kind of slow in SAC. I don't know. We see some serious bloodbaths here and there. But in this case, both teams, like we said before, playing for that late game skill. DSG matching the Instinct playstyle. And yeah, we're getting closer to the threshold where we do see the bloodbath beginning. So perhaps that's a reason, as we do catch up for maybe 1 to 2 kills per minute.
Everyone just training across the map. We can check in again with items real quick. We do have the Chem tank on the Gragas in the top lane. Immortal shield bow coming out for the Graves as well. Yeah, it seems like everyone is getting really close to finishing their legendaries, and right now you can see DSG definitely do not want to be fighting, as they are literally down legendaries across the board except
the
for in the top lane.
Maokai looking for the pick, but we do have numbers for DSG. Saplings placed means they will not be able to enter through Tri-Brush at least. The Yogi looking to try and find that Nick Wolf pick, but unfortunately not going to get anything out of it, as well as Killer Instinct available, so he has repositioned. Real Red Raven sitting on both sums. Hecarim, however, playing towards that bot side win condition. As for top lane, it seems like Graves is trying to farm, but actually not really managing to get much of a lead. He's only up 3 CS, despite having a little bit less presence. Perhaps the fact that he's been getting caught off so many times in these objective fights. Good face block. Journal says, no, no, no. Where are you going, friend? Passive form.
Whew. Yeah, that's just tragic. As a sign, you definitely don't want to be dying, because you are just like your meat shield who needs to get really good. Ooh, mid lane. Beautiful ulti.
Zoe or Iceway just showing us how comfortable he is on this Hecarim pick. Very, very nice pick in the middle lane, not even having to burn the ghost.
That was an absolutely beautiful ulti. I might try that one in my solo queue games.
I mean, it kind of requires Salt to step up pretty fast to make sure that you do get behind so you don't push him in the wrong direction.
Yeah, 100%. I've never even realized it could, like, I do that with Fiddlesticks ultis, you know, but Fiddlesticks ultis are a little bit longer range, I feel like. Yeah, and it seems like somehow, even though the score is 5-8 right now, we only have 1,000 gold lead between these two teams on the side of Instinct.
Yep, red side instinct, a little bit of a lead. As for the lanes, we've now got Salt in the side lane. He is playing Victor, and we know Victor wants to basically just catch wave side, let your bot lane play for mid, just clear wave as you do potentially dance around that Rift Tilt objective. You want your bot lane or your 2 members close to the objective of Rift just to make sure they're there if you need them. Having them bot lane, not going to really allow them to get access, but at the same time, Salt has no teleport available, so perhaps having the Gragas bottom and the Victor top side would have been better here, as Drake only spawning in a minute and a half.
Yeah, and as you can see, Yogi is starting to set up his saplings for that potential dragon play. Wombat stepping up relatively far.
How
So much damage into
knowledgeable are you on Hecarim itemization right now?
I think Stridebreaker doesn't feel that off. Not that knowledgeable though, genuinely.
I don't know. Some of the scenes kind of odd. I have not seen. I've never put it this way. I've never been stride broke by a Hecarim before in my games at least. But you know, it's clearly working. He's making some moves.
And I mean, it fits the name, right? Strides, horses makes.
Yogi pops the roof to disengage. He's sitting on a little bit of AP, but no tank. He is squish. I swear, Zoe look for the outside shadows. Does burn it early, so it's going to be 50 seconds for the dragon, but no ultimate available as Jornal outside step forward. Wombat shield kicked in, but Jornal does not have the damage as the Ice Wave flash, or sorry, reposition. Disengage flash not working out for Jornal. The fight, however, continuing, and it's going to be a rush next. Caught out of position. What are you doing? Instinct is the killer instinct. Nope. Shut down.
That was nice. Fight goes on. Jinx gets a kill, going excited, still looking for more. And looks like that's all they're going to get, as Instinct kind of throw the game a little bit there, if you ask me.
I caught myself off with that one. That was like... I unintentionally rhymed Instinct with Killer Instinct. Like, that was something. That kind of threw me off a bit.
Yeah, 100%. Also... Yeah, I think that was just Maokai not respecting the fact that the rest of his team wasn't around, and he just wanted to do the things you do when you Maokai support. Get objective control.
Get
Looks like at the end of the day, though, it is going to work out for them, as they are busy doing this dragon. Ooh, there's a chance that we see the steal coming out of Zoe.
So speaking of stealing, you gotta keep in mind that Jinx is incredibly good at securing this crossmap, like executes on objectives like Dragon and Baron. Her ultimate rocket
100%.
was buffed actually, I think 3 or 4 months ago, where it now does more damage to, I believe, objectives. So potentially we could see these cross the map steals towards late stages with that Baron attempt, but I don't know. We see how good Raven's snipes are in predictions.
Yeah, I would be really keen to see. We saw that in the LEC yesterday in the G2 series. It was wow. Also, yeah, so what they changed was they essentially Jinx's damage increases the lower health a champion is, but it caps at some point, and I believe they just removed the cap on neutral monsters. So yeah, if it's low enough, you do like a ton of damage against the objectives of Dragon and Harold. And
speaking of objectives, it's going to be the first turret, or second turret rather, for DSG now secured versus the one for Instinct. Rift Herald started up. We do have Nick Wolf and Lesnack sitting in the mid lane. They're there in case they're needed. Top side, bit of a back and forth rush. Having his chem tank now secured means he has that engage tool. That item, in my opinion, kind of broken. I'm kind of liking that playstyle of champion with the engage now coming through. A little bit of a stronger version, I guess, seeing as it was buffed a couple of patches ago, switching around, I believe, the passive that it gave with one of the other mythic items.
Yeah, also we can see all the mythic items are completed for both sides of the teams, and on terms of XP and level, we have Red Raven ahead in 1 level in the bot lane, which is expected because Maokai tends to be running around and kind of placing some saplings around instead of farming, which tends to give your ADC a slight level advantage, whereas the Snake is 1 level up. And in the mid lane, we have 1 level lead to Wombat, which is nice. You want to get the Scorky as far ahead as possible, as quickly as possible.
I mean, Jornal doesn't seem to be having the greatest of games so far. He's been kind of picked off a couple of times here and there, not in the right place. and he's received the. What is the Hecarim even carry? What kind of weapon is that? A scythe?
I want to say a scythe too. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's fighting the Hecarim scythe in these dark alleys, and it's not been too pretty.
Yeah, I also don't think that I'm not sure who picked junglers first. Oh yeah, it was 100% DSG picked Hecarim first pick.
Yeah.
So there wasn't so this was Journal either counter picking or comfort picking, and I know that if you see Hecarim in LEC, the go-to counter is Udyr, actually, believe it or not.
I feel like Udyr just counters everything in his current state.
True. That's true. What is the timers on the dragon?
1 minute 40 seconds. So
you
Hecarim...
can see Yogi setting up again. Hopefully this time he doesn't get caught as everyone starts to move in and get some vision around there.
Hecarim sitting middle, and he has the rift after the fight. He can survive. The onslaught shows past the ghost, not gonna be able to get behind. That's what I was talking about. The trade CC to Raven just trying to get away. He has no sum, so he will go down as the 2-for-1 trade. Both support and AD carry dead from the side of Instinct. Traded over for support and jungle. The double for Mr. Salt. The Victor starting to get a little bit stronger as Nick for the reposition. Killer Instinct says no. Trying to get his way out of this one. He has Scion, but he's not going the right direction. Popped into the delivery system. Hello, goodbye. Salt finds himself the triple now, 6-for-1.
Yeah, I think there was some miscommunication there, especially at the end. I'm not sure why Kai still ran up, but guess we'll never know. Meanwhile, that surely will be the dragon. Oh, Wombat not respecting.
He's playing cocky. He has the tools to get out of this.
W? Yep. You can follow with the E. Yeah, it's not looking good.
Flash the mist. Wombat almost actually flashing into it as Journal's shield does pop through. Wombat going so low, goes down. It's going to be the secure now, 13-10.
Yeah, and that will surely be the dragon going over to the side to Instinct, who at this point might even be getting they're getting really close to Sol. Considering how even this game is, that is really odd, because like it's not like this Maokai is zoning them off. It's just like Maokai gets caught, then the junglers die, and Instinct somehow gets dragon. It actually feels like a miracle to me.
Let's take a look again at what we just experienced. Actually, no, dragon's gonna be spawning. It looks pretty free. I mean, Yogi's creating enough pressure to basically guarantee the third dragon actually for Instinct. Papa Smith on the other hand. Top side chunking away the tier 2, which is not too important. They have Rush walking his way down, seeing as the teleport not available.
He does have TP and Rush doesn't have TP. Also, why did Papa just...
I'm trying to work out what we just watched.
Yeah, I don't know what that flash was at all. Like, surely you could have walked away from that flash. Harold,
I think this one deserves a full screen. This one deserves a full screen replay.
Okay. I don't know, like maybe he thought there was like a whole team there?
Yeah, a little bit scared. He's playing that one like he's gonna get picked off, but you gotta keep in mind that dragon had just been taken, so the likelihood of that happening a little bit low, but it could be nerves. You gotta keep that in mind. It is on the big screen, and not everyone's really used to that just yet. Have you had your games casted before? How do you handle the pressure? Does it affect you?
I think like you kind of just honestly it affects me positively. You know, you get like two types of people. Like under pressure, I just feel like I perform even better. I try really, really hard.
Speaking of tryhards, top lane, we have the Reese coming through. It's gonna be the snare. Papa's
not having a good game. That
Q was a little bit all over the place.
A little bit nervous. Extreme nerves getting to him. This is interesting. Instinct is... Oh, Red Raven alone having to flash away there as just disengaging from that. Is there a TP? What is wrong?
Scion looking. Papa Smith, are you okay, my dude?
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for this man.
I feel like this is one of my Sonic games, dude.
DSG, exactly. DSG had like 100% committed to the disengage there. You could see that they were almost halfway out of mid lane, and then that happened.
Sort of a mental boom. No, I think it's just an unlucky series of events. The snowball heading in the wrong direction, but does mean that Baron should be free for Instinct as they do find themselves potentially the snowball building up. I mean, it's now Baron, 3 dragons. The next Drake spawning in 2.5 is going to be the Soul, Cloud Soul, so CDR for the ultimates.
Yeah, at this point, that goldie that was only 1,000 is really increasing so much. We almost have, yeah, 5,000 gold difference right now. And a Baron on the side of Instinct. It just feels like the small misplays that where I feel like they're pushing a little bit too hard on the go button, and just some uncharacteristic mistakes from these players. We have definitely seen Papa Smithy play a lot more calm and collected than this.
I mean, sometimes it happens. Second game, perhaps the nerves settled a little bit more, as we do see players start to sort of slot back into the general playstyle. In this case, however, 4k gold lead, 4.5k. Favoring Instinct, and where's that gold sitting exactly?
Definitely curious to know.
Looks like bot lane up 1,000, middle lane pretty much even. Jungle actually Graves ahead, despite the interesting early start. As for top lane, there is with the big differences. Rush currently sitting on just over 2,000, or just under 2,000 gold advantage.
Yeah, Graves is also up 2 levels, which is that's bad. That's jungle diff bad. Don't even know how that happened, because Hecarim was really in the driver's seat for most of this game. Hecarim coming in.
Yep, you mentioned Hecarim, the ghost, the reposition. He finds the traps on the way back through. His Red Raven just trying to trade, but one back shield says no. Meanwhile, AD carry the rush is this doida, because the reposition is going to be there with the casket. Meanwhile, middle lane flash W damage into the Journal finish off. You pick our first AD carry, our second one's there to make up for it, as Rush now just trying to get away but won't be able to. Root saying hi. Sapling plays John off the flash, and Nick Wolf does get the last order. He does not just yet. The reposition and the stride breaker coming through for I Swear, as the Journal connection finally there on the ultimate, but was snacked, and he focuses in a LCL Salt, saying goodbye, finding 7th kill, and Instinct the team 5 victory.
Victor is absolutely popping off. I feel like he's doing so much damage. I wouldn't be surprised if he was dealing the most damage in the game. Wow. Dude.
So just taking a look at that replay again. Nice ultimate, actually. Jonal finding the lineup, practicing his aim labs, it seems.
Beautiful snipe. Love to see it. And yeah, that was looking so good initially. Oh my word, this is Soul going over to the side of Instinct?
Yeah.
Could have been worse. At least it's Cloud Soul.
True.
It could have been worse. That's a dead Kai'Sa.
Were the roots intended for the Kai'Sa, or the roots to try stop the resetter? I'm not too sure.
I'm pretty sure the Kai'Sa.
Go Kai'Sa, not a good spot. Nick Wolf, the chasers here, the popcorn flash. So saying, yeah, so he's just picking up Kitty at this point, dude.
Yeah, like at this point, I'm super confused. How did Instinct get this ahead? Nick Wolf is down, like, dude.
It was a combination of DSG misplays meets, I guess, just unlucky situations, but proper Smurfy.
Not smurfing today.
Yeah, it is what it is. It happens. It happens.
Well, Hecarim trying to smurf really hard, but
for the disengage.
The snake crawling back to base, going to try and lick some of those wounds, as Instinct has really just popped open this game, and it feels like they will surely be able to close this out in the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, DSG not in a good spot, so it's going to come down to Instinct playing the rest of the game correctly. If they do misplay, DSG perhaps could look for a way back in. But current state with the champions that are in hand for Instinct, they're just going to be becoming stronger and stronger as they do pick up objective and gold everywhere they go. So now looking just to try and reset, potentially take any camps that may be available in the top side jungle before they do reset, and perhaps group for that bot lane, for the top lane Baron. Kind of interesting how Dragon's top left corner but Baron is top right. You would think that'd be switched around.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out like what the plan is now. I'm so surprised how hard DSG has fallen behind. At this point, Nick is like I mean, he's slowly catching back up in levels, but it just feels odd. Yeah, like all of a sudden everyone is down on levels, and that Hecarim that was so ahead is so behind. What an interesting turn of events. We do have Baron spawning really soon, and this mid is pushing in so hard, which makes it really hard for you to step up and get vision that you need.
Corki sitting on 3 items now means he does have a lot of damage available if he is able to find the right fight. Issue being is that your Yogi Maokai creates so much pressure with the roots alongside the taunt. So not the taunt, the snare. Top side, Pablo Smurthy caught off again. He's looking kind of tanky, not dying immediately, now dropped to half health. There's that super big shield. The Raven not here to join, but it looks like Papa Smurfy able to survive as the top lane attempt for INT. Nope, I take that back. Rocket says, no, you're not escaping this one.
Yeah, I think there was a few questionable Qs there that he probably didn't have to... If he didn't Q there that last Q, to be honest, he probably would have not taken enough poke and would have been able to walk out. And that will probably just be the Baron. Honestly, it feels like the top lane is getting absolutely outclassed at this point.
I mean, we saw Wombat, we saw what DSG were looking. They wanted to have the Wombat bot lane split push, looking to try to pick up any free gold or turrets that they could, and then perhaps respond to the Baron attempt. Unfortunately, Papa Smurfy not really watching the map too much, kind of disrespecting by stepping up so far, knowing that the Baron objective is going to be spawning so shortly, so the Instinct team should be topside, and as a result does get punished. At this point, Wombat kind of just want to try to play for that turtle, but the engage does come through. Unfortunately, Lesnek not finding that follow through. You're now, however, locked down. Double kill traded over as Maokai ends up dead. It's going to be Corki and the Kaiser gone as the flag's going to be there. Papa Smurfy just too late, unfortunately, for that respawn teleport flank. Oh,
yeah, I have so many questions. The Hecarim went alone, then the Ral went alone. And at that point, the two carries are like, help, where's my front line? And that's actually just going to be the game.
Yep, GG well played. Instinct taking the first game in the best of 3.
Wow. Wow. Don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone that maybe missed the first game, we'll just give us a summary of what exactly happened, in your opinion.
DSG had a really beautiful start to the game. They found some great picks and slowly just kind of got out of control and snowballed, and it just seemed like we saw some really smart plays from Instinct. They started slowly, even though they were losing the game, they somehow got 2 dragons, and then before you know it, they had a soul. And then Pablo Smurfy just kept getting caught out, and we're making a few questionable plays, and here we are. Baron into a game-ending fight with just the players just not being on the same page on the side of DSG, kind of going one at a time and not having or giving a front line to their essential carries.
Yeah, I mean, both teams picking pretty hard scaling, like you said. The jungle definitely favoring DSG side in the early stage, but unfortunately not able to translate that objective lead. I mean, they got the first Drake. They lost everyone after that point, it seemed, though. So DSG, I mean, honestly, it was fairly close. I could have seen DSG taking this game had they, I guess, played it a little bit better, less getting caught off, more, I guess, team communication. But in this case, Instinct taking the victory for the first one. Keep in mind, however, it is a best of 3, so we potentially could have that reverse sweep, the royalty special. But yeah, I mean, let's see what happens in game number 2 in a little bit.
Yep. At this
And we're back for game number 2 of the best of 3 Instinct v DSG. Tankers, catch us up with a quick summary. What happened the first game for anyone that maybe just showed up or missed the first game?
Yeah, so first game was really close, back and forth between both teams. We kind of had a little bit of really close early game fights. It looked really good, and then it just seemed like Instinct just slowly pulled away. It went from, I think, 1,000 gold lead on this side of Down South Gaming to 1,000 gold lead for Instinct, which just slowly snowballed into 5,000 gold and a Baron and a Soul. And yeah, just beautiful plays across the board from the side of Instinct, just punishing mistakes that were being made by the side of DSG.
Alright, we do have the ready checks coming through, so we should be jumping into Champ Select in just a second. Overall, the draft's not actually too bad from either sides for the first rotation or the first draft. As for second game, do we get the same picks, same bans? We'll have to find out shortly. Anything in particular that stood out first game that needs to be banned away? For me, it was, I think, Yogi's Maokai.
Honestly, I think maybe recons like that Hecarim was doing a lot. And I think top lane needs to be rethought. Maybe don't ban the Gnar and pick the Gnar. I don't know. But like definitely was feeling like the top lane matchup was maybe just not a comfort pick or something like that. But I definitely feel like there was potential for
something a little bit off. But let's take a look at the draft so far.
Let's do that as we jump into Champ Select. Just a second. There we go.
Ah, there we go. So Lucian banned away. You asked for the Lucian ban last game. It was left open, I believe. So we finally do get
I just think like if you don't ban it, pick it, and neither of the teams even thought of picking it. And I think Int's been watching the stream, so they must have been like, "Hey, hold on, we can't leave that open. That's a big flaw and gigantic what shall we call it?
Vulnerability, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's too dangerous to leave up.
Rel
the Rel is great. Maokai ban. It seems like we have the ban.
There it is.
Finally, DSG realizing like, hey, maybe we should not give this to Yogi. What else does he play then other than the Maokai?
I can't say anything. That's too soon, dude. I can't leak information, valuable info like that. What? No, I'm joking.
For those of you that don't know, we have invested interest here on the classes. This man actually is on Team Instinct.
Direction. Right, so the final ban for the first rotation from Instinct is going to be the Hecarim that you mentioned, just taken out of here. So they agree with you that Hecarim doing work, so not going to be allowed through for game number 2 for I Swear.
Although that is a bit of a draft mistake, if you ask me. As Instinct, you never ban Hecarim, because you have first pick, so you know that you can take it if it's open.
The issue is that you're now not a jungle main. He's actually a top lane who's now picking up jungle, especially for this tournament. So I don't know how flexible his champion pool is. In this case, we do have the Seraphine priority pickup, which I do respect. I feel Seraphine being a little bit stupidly hard, and I'm pretty sure Miggy would be agreeing with me on that one, as he is spamming it quite a lot, and he's Silicon doing really well with it. As for the DSG, Viego left open. I've seen DSG lock in Viego, and it is pretty insane, that champion. IMO not exactly balanced, plus they get the comfort thresh pick for the bot lane Wombat.
So now the question is, if you see that thresh pick, do you take the Aphelios for yourself just so that they don't have access to it, or are you basically giving them the Aphelios in round number 3?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Because we do know that DSG likes to play the Thresh Aphelios combo, but at the same time, now we have Skarner locked in, as well as the Echo Hover, so they're actually leaving the Aphelios open. I think Raven perhaps having an answer to that pick. He is an Aphelios main, so he knows what does well into that champion. I think he likes to pick Senna into it genuinely, or generally rather, but in this case it has been banned away, so we have to see what we do get from them, but I don't really think Salt likes the Victor pick. He kind of finds it a bit boring, struggles a bit to do the whole walking and ultimate movement at the same time, so he's going to go for something a little bit more comfortable. Not that he did particularly poorly, he actually kind of popped off in first game, but Echo locked in for most likely the mid lane.
Probably. Yeah, I'm not sure why you chose Zaya if you had the opportunity for Aphelios though. No, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting as well.
Also, Red Raven doesn't play any Seraphine, does he?
I mean, you're right in that the Seraphine pick could have been flexed to both support or mid lane. Locking in both Skarner and Echo kind of gives away the fact that it will actually be support, because Echo in this
Or
case,
ADC
no, I
pushing
mean,
for,
yeah,
actually.
true, bot lane. Let's probably go with bot lane.
Yeah, but the telling sign for me that that's not happening is, yeah, the Echo. So if you play Seraphine bot lane, you tend to want to have an AD mid, like Lucian, which they actually banned. So yeah, probably not happening.
You're
Probably
just
going to be
not letting
support.
that Lucian go. You're just not happy that we're not seeing it.
Just on a band. Gangplank. I'm not sure. Like maybe Gangplank is just a really good comfort blind pick for the side of Rosh, and the Volibear ban makes a lot of sense. It's a good jungler, a good top laner. Although I'm not sure if you should be banning that if you've already seen the Viego, as surely that Viego is going jungle.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the instinct or the ban for
Sion,
the Gangplank as well.
they're running it back. I don't know about that Sion, man. Oh, it just yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess
He's asking for a second chance to prove himself. First game, not so hot. Second game, this is it. He's had the warm up. He's had the nerves. And it's all past now. He says, "Let me prove myself, guys."
yeah, sounds
Red
good.
Raven.
Aphelios.
Oh my.
Yeah, this pick order is really odd to me across the board. Okay, Jinx going over. That makes a bit more sense.
Okay, so he likes the Jinx and feels sad, man. We had the Aphelios hover. I feel like DSG kind of left the Aphelios open here with the intention of Raven picking it. But he's not going to fall for that one. On the other hand, the Cho'Gath actually hovered through. But the question is, are they a little bit too AP heavy with this current draft on the side of Instinct? Does Red Raven have the AD to make up for it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what to say right now. Cho is actually locked.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, the only Cho that I've been seeing, there has been some top lane Cho'Gath, but I've been seeing it a lot more with Fasting Senna, which is an absolutely bonkers lane.
I haven't
Chippy,
tried
if
that
you haven't
actually.
played that, you have to play that lane, dude. It is just memes for days, dude. You're just absolutely smurfing on the enemy team.
Is that a cast?
Unless they play mage bot lane.
It locked it
Cassidy.
in? Is that Mr. Not being subbed in? What? Listen, okay, sure. We've got the Cassidy lock in. Mid lane scale is the name of the game. I feel like this game for DSG draft is on, I swear, Zoe's shoulders. I feel like he's going to be the main priority. If he pops off like he did with the Hecarim, he has that potential to carry DSG into the victory into that third game. Instinct taking the first one means that we will need a DSG reverse sweep, the 2-for-0, to pull the series back into their favor. But looking at the drafts, what are your thoughts? Do we get a third game?
I'm gonna say no. I feel like this Skarner brings so much value, like so much tax you have to pay. Cassidy needs to take so long before he gets online, and I mean, yeah. What did we last pick? We last picked Cassidy instead of.
Yeah.
I feel like you probably should have last picked the top lane. Honestly, there's so many great blind pickable mid lanes, but Cassidy into Cassidy into Echo?
Echo, yep.
How does that matchup play? I feel like you don't win early, definitely.
I mean, Cassidy never wins early.
True,
5v matchup that Cassidy wins early. I feel like the only time he does is when the jungler fails ganks and gives the enemy opponent like a free double buff at the start.
Yeah, maybe like Soraka. Even Soraka probably wins that lane.
Cassidy's the king of scaling. Fingers crossed we have that teleport.
Yeah. Other than that, like I'm still really confused by the Xayah pick over the Aphelios potential. Like, what's the range difference? Xayah has a bit more range, I think.
You probably find that they're a little bit scared to draft the Aphelios this early because we've seen them do that before in the past, and DSG had an issue where the opposing side basically just picked all-in dive champions, and even with Thresh that became a little bit tricky. So Xayah at least has that get out of jail free card. She has the Featherstorm, so she can quite easily just like disengage the potential Skarner pick or the Rush knockup. So Aphelios maybe not the greatest to pick up in that place, but like you said before, drafting a little bit interesting.
Yeah, this game is completely unpredictable for me from the drafting point, whereas the last game we saw things that I wasn't surprised by. The Kaiserrel coming out, that was not a surprise. It was tragic to not see it play out in level 1 the way I expected it to. Meanwhile, the Maokai, no surprises for either of us. Yeah, the top lane Sion wasn't a surprise. Gragas wasn't a surprise. Cho'Gath, on the other hand, big surprise. Skarner, big surprise. Seraphine, I guess not too surprising, but the Kassadin, on the other hand, is
It's
very
something. It's
surprising.
something. Right.
Ye-
So, are we going with the Instinct or DSG draft victory just purely off the picks themselves, not the players?
It's 100% instinct.
Okay.
I don't see a world where this Kassadin makes it to late game, basically.
Yeah, so you gotta keep in mind that Seraphine offers a lot in these late game team fights as well. DSG has a lot of like frontline tankiness on their side. I suppose the Sion should be quite beefy, but at the same time, I mean, it's Cho'Gath. He gets tanky and he has the execute, the objective control. But Journal plus the Yogi Seraphine combination, that speed, that boost into the hijack. I'm going to be stealing one of your players and basically dragging them into my team. It'll become very effective. As for Salt, he's been spamming a lot of Echo with mixed results. Do we get a good game? Do we get a bad game? I mean, first games Victor did really well, so let's see whether he's just having a good day. Otherwise,
Yeah, he
we'll be
played
back.
absolutely amazing in game number 1 with that Victor. I feel like he was popping off, doing so much damage, beautiful zone control, amazing stuns coming out, and if it can just continue, this will surely be the game for Instinct. Kassadin just won't get online before this Echo is popping and one-shotting people.
Right, but we'll be back shortly for game number 2 of the best of 3, potentially last game. Only time will tell.
Okay, I got him. Yes.
Missing one Latina, but
I'm gonna start with some tapping.
Yes, nice shot for me. Perfect. Yes.
Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 of Instinct versus Down South Gaming. Yeah, super excited to get into it. This one had a little bit more of an interesting draft phase. We do get pings going out across the map, and it seems like a potential early game invade for the side of Instinct here.
Right, so game number 2, do we get an invade? We're gonna stand and spread out from the side of DSG, but nothing too spicy. Maybe just looking for the counter in case they walk in with a Thresh. Support that is highly likely to invade, so just playing it safe.
Nothing crazy going on there, just a ward going down, and Viego recalling, as well as Journal on the Skarner. Seems like we're going to have both junglers starting topside and pathing down towards bot lane. Papa Smurfy moving over to also assist his jungler. So this is farm jungler versus farm jungler. Super interesting. Normally when one person picks farm, ooh, Red Raven getting some trading.
Bone plating already broken. Let's snack. So Seraphine, Seraphine and Jinx, Seraphine, Red Raven. Basically, this matchup is gonna come down to can we dodge the hook? Well, Snack should try push for that level 2, and basically look to try all in either Yogi or Red Raven. And we saw in the first game, despite Nick Wolf and Lesnack getting that early game priority, not having a leash, somehow Instinct were able to secure that level 2 spike and basically nullify that lead in this case. Yet again, lane state kind of interesting. I mean, Instinct's shoving a wave really hard. Need to be careful not to shove too hard, otherwise you can end up giving over that level 2.
Top lane, some trading going out, so is mid lane. Again, we got this complete level 2 lose on the side of DSG. I'm not sure what this is, you know?
I mean, to be fair, they do have a master tier player support for Instinct, so it could be a bit of like Nick Wolf or Snack seeing that and kind of playing it a little bit too scared. That is a thing where
so like
you see mismatch of ranks and you play differently.
Yeah, a little bit more scared and more reserved, not wanting to make any mistakes.
But as a result of that, you end up making mistakes because you basically concede the lane.
I was Ignite used by Salt, but he's didn't win the trade. Oh, DC.
So I mean, we know Salt to have some dodgy internet at times. In this case, we have the instant receive. Okay. Right.
That is tragic though, as he did lose the Ignite in the bot.
Speaking of losing, we do have top side, but unfortunately a bit of a replay. Freeze into the resume. Silence does come through. He's a little bit low. No, he won't have the damage, so no solo kill for top lane. But Rush showing us that he is here and he is looking for blood. Papa Smurf gonna be forced to actually stay. Does not opt to go for the reset into teleport back just yet. As for junglers, both junglers bot side looking to try 5 for the scuttle. So I mean, Instinct have the bot lane priority, so the drag or the scuttle objective should be pretty much guaranteed for them. The Snake, however, level 3 will have Lantern available, does find the cheeky hook, smite secure for Jonel, and top lane scuttle should by default be handed over to blue side Instinct as well.
Yeah, it just seems like across the map we're seeing beautiful play from Instinct again, and
hello, good attempt. Unfortunately, Yogi having the reaction. Raven not gonna get the connection on the stun either. I respect it. I respect it. The attempt. Let's snack.
Yeah, I think it's a great. Can you actually buffer the Q and then flash? Does that work? Probably not.
You can Q flash. Yeah.
So you can Q flash and then it moves forward, or doesn't it move forward more?
It doesn't move forward. Trying to think now. I don't know. I'm kind of freezing on this one now.
Yeah, no, that's my thinking.
It's like one of those things where like you just know when you play the champion, but if you physically think about it, it's like, but wait.
Not sure. Not sure how that works. Yeah, exactly. Like, interestingly, this mid lane is going really well for the Kassadin. Maybe my bad there, thinking Kassadin actually loses that lane. Never mind. To be fair, there was also a DC from the side of Salt, which
he might be having some troubles. There.
Ooh. Oh, that hook was so close in the bot lane. The Snake just playing really well. Not faltering in this lane.
Alright, so Dragon on the map now. It's going to be the Mountain Trig for the first one. Whether we get either side looking to play for that, I doubt in the current stage. Raven a little bit low in mana as the hook attempt number 3, not quite finding that connection, unfortunately, the Snack. I mean, just going back to that attempt with the jungler, they were able to burn Yogi's flash, so they could look to try punish that. It does help a lot in this matchup, as Xayah and Thresh can look to try step up and apply a little bit more pressure than they were before, knowing that Yogi will not be able to react or, I guess, match them, seeing as he needs that reposition in case he does get hooked.
Yeah, and this is just farming jungler versus farming jungler, so there's definitely a level of everyone's just chilling. Ooh, Wombat doesn't take any damage. He's also up a level, and is he winning CS by the way? Yo, wow, Kassadin is also up in CS, and he's got this beautiful wave stacked here. So if he doesn't die to this wave, he is by far ahead in this mid lane. Oh
That's a big
no,
wave.
Wombat play did not see the Echo ulti. Oh, another one. And it seems like Instinct is.
But Raven low. Actually, it's gonna be Ice Wave coming through over the wall as he does find that second kill, actually evening it out as now Ice Wave taking the form of the Red Raven Jinx for the Dragon contest. Unfortunately, it does not seem like either side can really look for that objective yet, as it is pretty evenly on top lane. Speaking of even, it's not going to be as I actually spoke. Rush missing the knockup, but it was looking quite good up to that point.
Cool. 7, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm back up. Yep. Awkward moment there. But anyway, yeah, that was beautiful plays to see. I think that was just beautiful play from Salt there. That ulti looked.
We spoke
so
about the
good.
hook, bot lane. Yogi, no flash. This is exactly what Nick Wolf and Lesnek want. Lesnek is a Thresh main, so he is able to find these cheeky hooks that they need. The flash Nick Wolf attempt, he does get the feather pull back into the miss of the second hook, but nonetheless, the kill will be there. But the TP flank is going to be Papa Smurfy coming in a little bit late as well, as Rush goes to the consume. Will not get the damage or the tick itself, the proc. Instead, Raven able to find the kill. So no growth, but in this case, Red Raven showing us that he does not have that fancy feat, the chain CC DSG. Go big.
Beautiful. Yeah, that was a beautiful play by DSG. That CP was maybe a little bit optimistic there. Level 6. You actually almost killed Nick Wolf with the ulti. It was like literally like 10 HP off or something. You hate to see that, but it happens.
So for those of you guys who missed that last game, that is the end final play. But Dragon on the other hand, started up but dropped, as we do have Echo just there to contest, prevent Instinct sending their bot lane mid instead, as Kassadin makes his way close to that power spike. He's level 7 now, he's got that first point in ultimate with a big pick, not gonna find the stun unfortunately. Good attempt, Wombat able to rift his way out of that.
Wombat is playing really well this game. That was a free Herald for a very late Dragon start. This is potentially going to be contested, and oh no, ult on Red Raven. So Viego doesn't have smite. Lamar. I mean, they are just begging for that to be so then.
Okay, so we're basically in a repeat of the first game where DSG had the early game lead. It was a very small lead, but it was a lead. So in this case, Dragon Mountain objective picked up. DSG have had some much better team communication, much better macros so far. It seems like they're quite a decent early game team in terms of the macro, in terms of the team play, but towards the later stages perhaps struggling a bit more. We'll see if the trend continues or not. In this case, top lane back to that wet noodle, the Cho'Gath back and forth. Neither top lane are really doing much other than just trying to get the gold and the late game tank stats.
Yeah, although I definitely feel like there's a little bit more value on the side of a Cho'Gath with that true damage.
Bot lane attempt. Red Raven has no flash. He's going to be punished for it. Bot lane set working out yet again as DSG commits to the punish. Really, really nice play.
Yeah, I actually think Instinct banned out Thresh in game number 1, and they left it up this game. So Snake is on comfort this game, and we can see it shining in the spot lane.
There are actually too many Thresh mains in South Africa. I have to say it seems like every like SA team has a Thresh main.
Which is a really interesting one because it's not an easy champ to play with.
Especially on ping, yeah.
Yeah, like those Qs are not easy to land. Mid lane looking relatively even. Let's check in with the CS differentials. We got a 10 CS lead in the top lane, a big CS lead on the side of Skarner in the jungle. Even though the Viego has 3 kills. It's so odd to me that this Viego keeps getting outfarmed. Last game on the Hecarim, he was also getting outfarmed.
He is spam ganking, to be fair. Jonel is kind of playing more playstyle of let's scale, get the ultimate play for that late game.
True. Wombat comboing.
The difference was
Walking
last
up.
game, despite Zoe or DSG jungle ganking more, you had Jornal getting kind of picked off, which resulted in the CS being kind of even. In this case, Jornal is 0 for 0 for 0. He hasn't done anything besides just picked up jungle camp, so as a result, he will get that natural lead. Mid lane, however, Ignite burnt, Assault attempts to go for the wombat kill.
Yeah, nothing too crazy happening there. I was expecting potentially a kill and that Echo just ulting out. But Cassidy does have the TP, potential to use it. Bot lane, some cheeky trading going on. Jornal is here and he does have flash and was...
Good trap placements. The Raven, the snare. Hook does find some
Nice.
proc off the... Oh, the Guardian actually is the big Seraphine Ultra, and I'll try to find someone for the pick, but that's exactly what I mentioned about how she has that get out of jail free card. The sniper with Raven kicking in the passive as the Root does find Yogi for the lockdown, but unfortunately only going to be a Jornal dropping just so far. The reposition, I swear, takes second form. He goes big, he's looking for the Raven Root, he gets it, and that is going to be the Viego special. Top lane.
What a champion! That was
Balanced and
absolutely-
interactive gameplay sponsored by Riot. That champion design. Oh, the solo kill. Papa Smithy goes big. I told you he wanted the redemption game. He said no. I had a rough first game, but second game I'm coming back and I'm showing us. Meanwhile, Soul finding one for Instinct in the mid lane.
Papa Smurfy getting the solo kill. Meanwhile, Salt in the mid lane getting his solo kill.
Oh, shield. Does it come through in time? It does.
Beautiful to see. Beautiful to see that outplay in the top lane. And yeah, we should note that that was a counter pick. Cho'Gath did counter pick into the Scion, so yeah, yikes. You don't want to be dying to a lane that you had the opportunity to counter pick. Beautiful, beautiful pickup of a kill there. We have some vision being cleared up, as I'm sure we will find Dragon.
Dude, that's gonna
is
be like
not
top
too
10
far.
SA clips season 11. Like that was actually kind of nutty. I respect it. I swear, showing us that he is more than comfortable on that Viego pick.
Yeah, Viego is looking really, really strong. Now, at this point, if he's down CS, it doesn't matter. That those extra 3 kills is just
You said something
yeah, he's
about
actually upper
not-
level even.
You said something about not getting to game 3. I don't know, dude. DSG looking kinda cracked right now. Top lane.
Ooh.
Jornal. I mean, it's a Scion. He's a tanky boy. I really don't know if they have the damage. The consume's not going to be there either, so Jornal kind of just wasting the ultimate. But hang on, Scion, Papa Smurfy, Rush just not finding the knock up of the flash. Oh no, what am I watching? Jornal takes the aggro, but it does end up working out. Meanwhile, bot lane, DSG looking for the counter attempt. You make a play on the top side, we're going to try something bottom. But unfortunately, DSG not going to get the money in this case. But however, they are 2k all up still as they look for that first brick.
And potentially a dive here, as this tower is 34. Papa Smurfy just showing up in game number 2. Definitely can see the nerves are off and the gloves are on. Almost winning that 1v2 and picking up a kill on Jornal in the top lane 2v1.
Dragon started up. It's going to be DSG finding themselves a second dragon as the fight continues. It's going to unfortunately be Jornal picked up with the Drake. So not only a dragon, but a... What's going on again? Scorpion. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, this Viego is looking scary, and at this point, it becomes really hard. It's basically a Yi. It's season 10 Yi, which no one wants to deal with, honestly. 7-0-1. The question is, what is Instinct's answer to this? How can they deal with this Viego? I feel like they need CC, and they have some, but they just don't have quite as much as I'd like them
At
to
this
have.
point, Viego is really pleases. He's just that fed.
Yeah. I mean, he should probably buy a QSS because his biggest nightmare is getting altered by the Skarner. And as well as like Seraphine, like if he gets CC locked up, it is really bad for him.
Bot lane for DSG now moving up towards top side. Yoki, however, just trying to cover Make sure they don't get the flank opportunity. Make sure the vision is good. Objective-wise, nothing really on the table. Both Dragon and Baron are pretty far out. Rift Herald number 2 secured by Viego. 7 for 0 machine, 100 farm. He's looking kind of big. He's working his way towards that second item, that second power spike, and Viego's the kind of champion who can put the rest of the team on his back if they have the hands, if they have the mechanics. Big combo, the chain CC. Nick Wolf forced to try Feather Storm as well. This one's the flash is going to be the rocket. Not able to find Nick Wolf, but the collateral damage as the attempt in the top side. INT unfortunately just won't get the pick. However,
yeah. How badly does he want this? No, not badly enough.
so
Mid lane doing some trading, and yeah. Ooh, is this potential pickup?
I don't know if Jornal is picking this Viego or Viego's picking Jornal at this point. I mean, you gotta be careful, you gotta respect it. Balance and interact with the champion.
With no ulti on Seraphine or Skarner, I don't think you want to take that fight, because you basically have 2 less CC tools to be locking him down. It's just like a Yi. If you CC a Yi, he has a really hard time doing much.
I mean, speaking of broken champs, have you seen the new champ that's being teased?
Yeah, the seamstress. Yeah. I'm super like, I want to see the abilities because it looks really pog. Wow.
I mean, from what I've gathered, she's a mage, or like she's an AP top laner, which is kind of cool. I get what they're going for, but knowing right, they're gonna bring it out as like Viego 2.0 with just an overstatic kit. I'm kind of scared. She's got a unique part to her ability as well. Like, one of her abilities are very unique.
Yeah, I saw one ability that looks like it goes under a Maokai ulti and she doesn't get snared. So
yeah, I don't know.
An interesting one. Yeah, if you watch the teaser clip, there's a point where Maokai ulti is coming right at her and she just like disappears into the ground and comes up.
Right, so we have Rift starting to take away. About 45 seconds left on that drop, so we'll need to find where they're gonna be placing it.
Beautiful.
Into Yogi.
Oh man, that is
the anti-interactive gameplay as the first of a down support. Seraphine. You're now locked in place. Zoe forcing the flash out. Red Raven just doing the best he can to get as much damage out, but it looks like he's going to be locked in place as in DSG just run their way through the Instinct team.
So, I mean, the biggest downside of actually playing Viego right now is that your ulti, you actually get the opponent's items. And considering how far behind the enemy team is, you're actually not getting much from having their form.
Right, so Riftfield very effective using the mid lane tier, or number 3 turret dropping for DSG's currently up. Actually, a substantial amount of gold, 5,000 gold, 19 minutes in. Instinct, not in a good spot.
Yeah, definitely looking really great from DSG. I feel like it's very much off the back of this Viego and Thresh just absolutely popping off and playing an amazing game.
Big moves, Instinct looking for that 3-man rotation onto the Scuttle now secured. So they've got that objective at least. It may not be Dragon, it may not be Baron, but perhaps we have a bit of a sneak attempt. It looks like they're actually going to try trade Baron for Dragon. However, Dragon spawning 20 seconds before. Let's see how this plays out. Don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, the Dragon picked up and they have.
They go for the stack. Death Rush?
Fnatic Death Rush, let's go! Everyone there, we got some SS pings coming out here.
Who's going to be the one walking through? The Snake has Lantern, so Wombat has disengaged. T-Fight does break out Seraphine, finding the Snake into the chain. Wombat ends up dead into the double pick, so they give the Dragon over, but they find themselves some cheeky kills.
Yeah, that was DSG not being on the same page. Viego warded Baron, so he was just like, guys, we don't fight this, they're baiting. And then somehow Kassadin and Thresh just walked into the bush anyway. Not sure what that was.
And Cho'Gath's mind's going to pretty much guarantee this objective despite the fact that they have the jungle alive still. It's just not worth the risk. He's 9-0, 700 gold bounty. Going for that flip is not the play. So respect the fact that DSG rotated off after the face check. They felt that the rush, they felt the urgency of having to move from Dragon to Baron, assuming that INT did actually start it already. not really anticipating the stack, and as a result, Instinct just trying to force their way back into this game, despite being behind gold.
Yeah. It was really odd, that specific play by... Yeah, I just feel like it was really odd to be walking into the bush after you got Baron Vision. And they knew something was up, so... I don't know, maybe Thresh casted and thought they were a little bit safer there. But regardless, it's still looking relatively positive that the gold gap feels like it's closing a little bit in favor of Instinct after that Fnatic Death Rush played out, as it did.
Let's see what happens with the Baron, the Baron buff now, the bot lane wave. Rush with the overextend, the sidestep says nobody ends up kiting into the rest of the DSG squad. However, Rush not really the only fight on the map as Lesnack traded back to top lane for support. Not the greatest trades, and keep in mind that was the split push intention with Teleport. Salt currently running Ignite on the Echo. Oh, nope. Sees the casted and resetting, opts not to take that pathing, a little bit safer instead.
Yeah, so I think at this point what you're doing as DSG is you're just trying to keep the Baron efficiency as down as possible. And at this point they haven't even gotten a tower, and potentially getting one out the tower is very little use for a Baron buff, if you ask me.
Tier 1 turret bot lane, Instinct trying to play for their third turn, 22 minutes in, Caston kind of just hovering around, but he has no real friends behind him, so Instinct not having the vision. Do you not really want to force for this objective, despite having the Barons? Looks for the quick resets instead.
So it seems like across the board, the farm is relatively even, except in the bot lane. There's quite a bit of farm gap between that Xayah and Jinx.
Yeah, we've seen
I'm starting to...
a lot of like bot lane movement, sending Red Raven and Yogi to mid lane instead. So Red Raven's kind of been sacking a lot of waves, which is not the greatest, seeing as the items are starting to show now. Nick Wolf working his way towards that third item, and Red Raven only finishing his second.
Yeah, I feel like this game is on a knife's edge though. If Instinct gets one good pick onto this Viego, it turns south really quickly. Who still doesn't have a QSS, by the way, and there is still a Seraphine, a Skarner. Like I really don't know why he hasn't picked up this QSS. Is he
he's
just
got
like
he's got the speed as well? While Skarner, 2 items, having the gotta go fast button. Speaking of which, here he comes, Jonel stepping forward, the knock up. Hello, Nick Wolf lanterning out as the last shot not gonna be there. Jonel with a deep dives into the kill bot lane or backside swear, but it's gonna be DSG 1 for the collapse there between 2 turrets, and a Fern Rush in this case just able to flash away as Instinct just overcommit. Salt.
Yeah, actually happened that Red Raven got caught by the Viego on the back of that fight, and it just fell apart as soon as Red Raven fell. Like,
Rush was out, but he ends up going back in. Rest in peace. Instinct are aced the 24 minutes in.
Wow. Instinct really wants game number 3?
Royalty reverse sweep reenacted. I mean, there's no more royalty technically, so that's like open territory for a new team to, I guess, claim the reverse sweep.
To pick up the reverse sweep. Yeah, 100%. This is looking so good. DSG just need to keep playing like this, and honestly, we have this beautiful pick comp on the side of Instinct. They just need a pick with the pick comp. Oh, this dragon is...
It's gonna be Soul. It's Infernal Soul. It's a pretty big objective. Jonah steps forward, does not get the smite, unfortunately. Rush on the other hand, teleporting in. A Yogi not in a good spot, does end up getting CC'd a little bit, but unable to step forward as Jonel does end up dying. Iceware finding himself the 13th kill and taking the form of the Skarner, so he has a little bit of speed on his hand to work. Nick Wolf, the chain not there, and Raven looking for the passive, doesn't get the reset as Yogi the new focus. The rest in peace, Wombat finally starting to do some work, still working his way towards that level 16. On the other hand, a Rush, the lock in place, he's going to be rooted. Salt getting the one-man stun, but it's going to be actually casted and end up dying as Rush looks to try and trade over into the ace and potentially game. They will get in him. Do they go for finish though? Baron sporting in 50.
Surely that will be the game going to the side of DSG. I don't know, can Journal hold this alone?
He's gonna have to try. I mean, honestly, the real question is, does DSG look for the push further? I feel like it's a bit risky. Bot lane respawning, rather reset, potentially take camps, and set up the priority for that Baron objective that's gonna be on the map in 30.
Yeah, so at this point, like, you have 1 or 2 more fights if you're Instinct here that you need to make happen and get in your favor. We have Elder Soul spawning in Elder Dragon.
Face check. It's gonna be a scuttle on map, so perhaps a little bit of a deep dive. I mean, does Jono have the damage? Is Viego forced to just disengage with ultimate? Means that's gonna be on cooldown for a little bit longer. Might have it available for this next fight depending on how long the dance goes. But in this case, you've got to keep in mind Rush has the Cho'Gath consumed, so they have that execute, which pretty much guarantees Instinct's Baron if they can get it low enough.
Yeah, at this point, oh, another death push. Luckily this time it's a side.
Please no, he's a little bit tankier than last game, so getting picked off is not an option. I mean, we saw first game Papa Smurfy kind of just getting picked off on repeat, which resulted in Instinct getting that free win. So that's kind of, I guess, what Instinct are going for this game, looking for the missed position from DSG, but DSG just in such a better spot.
Definitely not the land, the hook you want to land there. Ooh, Wolf taking so much damage.
Salt pulls the trigger back out, almost finds the kill. The Nickel for the backline. Salt now in a little bit of trouble. He has no flash. He will go down as DSG Wombat finds that mid lane kill. Fight continues in the mid side as Jonah being as tanky as he can be, but the hijack state from Zoe finds Skarner instead. He's going to be now looking to walk up and find himself the double. He does. Red Raven, the last order into the reset, not going to be there. The turn back in the rift, walk the kite, the trade, the 1-for-1 as DSG clean this team fight up.
Beautiful. DSG is showing us that they want to compete in this game number 2. Beautiful, beautiful. Is it Balance Champs? Is it? We'll never know.
All I'm gonna say is that first game, DSG made the mistake of leaving Maokai open. Second game, Instinct have made the mistake of leaving Viego open.
Viego and Thresh. Let's not forget how much this Thresh is doing. Meanwhile, Nick is not doing well as he drops to Big Monster Cho. Wow, that is so much damage, dude. Like, he just one-shot an ADC, and he's 6 and 5. It's not like he's really fed or anything. Definitely, I'm surprised by this draft on the side of DSG. It's
I don't really think it's a draft issue. I think this is a game that's resulted in Viego just picking up free kills. Like, it's not so much the draft, but rather just the way the game is turned on in this kind of state. I mean, he's like, realistically, Viego should not be 16-0.
Agreed. And I just feel like it's this combo of this Thresh that is just absolutely popping off, and Viego ganking bot lane the whole time.
Yeah, let's next putting in some work.
Yeah, Seraphine and Jinx just do not have the kiting and the peel to deal with that all in. We have a 0-6 master player in game number 2 here.
Yeah,
this is
so,
you see that?
I mean, Yogi, from what I know, his champion pool, he's recently started picking up Seraphine, so perhaps he's not the most comfortable on it, which could be the reason for the state of the bot lane now. 3 for 8 on Red Raven and 0 for 6 on Seraphine. Going to the late point, 40-minute game, how's this looking for you? I mean, they've got the Cassidy scale on DSG, but at the same time, Jinx, Cho'Gath late game. Is it, plus Seraphine, is it going to be enough?
I definitely think the scaling is hard winning on this side of DSG, not to mention the fact that they have 2 Infernal. It is so nice to have double Infernal on this Viego and Xayah. This
is definitely a DSG game to throw. Can they close it out? We've seen it. We've mentioned in the first game that perhaps their late game not quite as strong as their early game. In this case, Icewear playing a champion that he's actually able to carry what he did. A lot of work in the first one with the Hecarim, but unfortunately just isn't able to use the Hecarim to try snowball and potentially solo carry. If there was a champion in the jungle to play to solo carry, it would be that Viego.
100%. Or Lilia. Lilia has so much. If Lilia is a 16-0 as well, it's very similar results here. And we do, if there's one opportunity for DSG to throw, it's going to be this Halder. if
10
if a
seconds.
Cho flashes and steals this, or a Skarner flashes and steals this, it's just
Joel? Ooh, a little bit late on that hook. I mean, Joel went for the face check. Papa Smurfy now back in the put as DSG looked to try pull it away. Cho'Gath and the rest of the side of Instinct trying to now rotate through mid lane. However, Salt opting to go for the push instead. Elder Drake started up 8,000 health left as they do find the knockup. Unfortunately, no vision for Instinct, so they're gonna have to go for the blind pick or Joel step forward. Dars comes through, nice little flank coming through for Salt. Locke says no, the Glisnek forces him out. Elder Drake, half out, 3,000 on the plate. The Seraphine ultimate will not find as red team do find the dragon. It's gonna be a bloodbath for Instinct as first the jungler, then mid lane dead.
yeah, it was all gonna come down to that steal and the fact that Viego picked up that Soul is Elder Dragon is just that surely will be the game end. Like if they can't end the game with Soul, then I'm like, yeah, then it's like what now?
I'm very surprised that Joel didn't go for the flash attempt. He died much earlier with both summoners up. He looked for the vision. To be fair, perhaps not having pink available for vision means that they have to step up beforehand just to try and have the opportunity for that rush flash and consume steal. In this case, Instinct is trying to play for the wave clear as DSG try to close through mid, going for the SA Classic, the ARAM attempt. Perhaps not the best objective. They're playing it a little bit disrespectful. The hook says no. The snack is confident. Yogi taking a big chunk as Papa Smurfy does stand forward. Rush for the face tank as the two-man lockdown. Again, the hook connect. It's going to be onto Journal at this point, but Rush able to take out Nick Wolf. A lot of damage, but Wombat on the other hand is big, but he goes for the under-turret dive. Raven repositioning means that he's in a good spot, just a free hit. It's going to be next Echo traded over as DSG look to try clean up despite that Elder Drake. Papa Smurfy, the disrespect, the triple kill from Red Raven into the turn. Papa Smurfy finding that 1-for-1 trade as the quadra kill comes through.
And I mean, I said it, if you can't end the game with Soul, then what then? No!
We spoke.
ARAM in the mid lane.
We spoke about the macro in the late stages for DSG.
And that was just an absolute, like, you can't call that anything other than a throw. You just lost a fight with Alda, and you didn't get top tower, you didn't get top inhib, you didn't get bot inhib. There was no reason to be running it down mid lane and forcing a fight. And yeah, there was a dive by Viego. He went in super ham. Jonal was like, hey, you under the tower? And I have no idea. I can check.
So we discussed earlier how DSG is a super decent team in the early stages, but they have a tendency to struggle towards late game with closing. In this case, playing a little bit overconfident. They already had men in here, they had Elder Drake, they were confident in taking that team fight, but DSG did not respect the fact that Instinct can just position the turret. But here comes the next fight as the Elder Drake is done, so it will be the clean 5v5. Seraphine not finding the lockdown onto Wombat as he is able to just rift walk his out, so that's a pretty crucial summoner spell, crucial ultimate not to have available for this Baron fight as the dance commences.
Red Raven did get that kill as well. Red Raven actually got 4 kills, so he is absolutely popping off.
4 kills, 4 items, now 7 for 8. Salt caught up, but he's able to get the rift walk out. Or the rewind on time. Rush trying to walk his way forward. You can see the tanky top lane is both tangoing.
And suddenly this game has just absolutely switched narratives to, can DSG close this game? Because at this point it's seeming like the goal difference just doesn't matter anymore. The Viego being ahead does.
DSG is still on the lead, like you said. They have 4 Drakes, they have the Soul, but now the Baron are secured as well. So red side, DSG secure Baron, and like you said, the gold lead is not as relevant at this point. It's coming down more to comp and positioning. This plays as, I guess, DSG again are looking to play the ARAM. They have Baron now. Send someone bot, send multiple players bot. You could go for the 4-man, 5-man bot lane instead, push through. Don't try and just force through mid. It does not work. We've seen that already.
Yeah, 100%. And keep in mind that you have, this is a perfect 1-3-1 comp. You have super tanky Scion who
no
can
TP is
support
available
this.
though.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so DSG resetting. If they were going to go for the reset, they needed to reset immediately or shove mid into the reset. In this case, they're now just trying to spend golds, whatever they had from that previous fight, that previous objective. Where did they go? Currently looking like a mid lane shove. in this case, I think honestly just 5-manning top is going to work out a lot better seeing as they have no teleport. There's no reason to go mid lane. Just try close it properly, slow and steady, gets the base and wins the race.
Yeah, I definitely think even if you don't have TP, you can
Death Rush?
still have an opportunity. Look here, another one.
It worked the first time?
Going deep into their toolbox, just wanting to just dire measures here. And surely the second Alder will be the end of the game, and we will not see. But remember what I said just a few minutes earlier. Ooh, I'm so scared. Hold on. What's happening?
DSG setting up their own small death rush, just buffing the minis. Like the fact that the waves are empowered means that they do know that there is someone close. Papa Smurfy actually just hovering around, applying that buff as they do play for time.
Oh, I was like, I'm so nervous. I'm so scared of a throw.
Alder Drake's the objective. They have the
yes, and like I said on the previous Alder Dragon, the most important thing is to not flip this Alder Dragon. Do not 50-50 this Alder Dragon, because whoever gets Alder should be able to close the game, except that DSG got the Alder and didn't close the game.
Unless you dive next to turrets. True.
Absolutely.
Journal.
Beautiful.
Papa Smurfy's not the player that you want to pick. In this case, it's going to actually be Rush that wants to pick, because the Seraphine ultimate does go big, but one better in the backline. Grin Raven needs the protect. Exhaust plus the grab, but unfortunately next member Journal locked down and secured. 2 kills favoring the side of DSG as Lisek just able to survive, as well as Nick Wolf for the reverse Featherstorm, but does the job, and DSG take that teamfight victory pretty hard without needing the Alder.
Okay, thank you, DSG. Please, can we close this game? Can we calm my nerves as Papa Smurfy decides to tank this tower? He might even go down for this.
Papa Smurfy taking a lot of damage. Icewave finds a kill on Assault, however, as ultimate just a little bit short. Papa Smurfy, DSG trying to close out. Icewave is still full health, and Yogi, the only member alive to try to defend with 15 seconds on the respawns. Yogi.
Great game. Surely.
GG, well played. Game number 2 going to DSG, so we will in fact have that third game that we weren't too sure about.
An absolute nail-biter of a game, though. Instinct really made DSG work for this win. They were not going to give it up easily.
Right, so was that... What exactly just happened? Like, DSG were in such a good start, or such a good spot. They had the early game. The jungle kind of just ran after the Viego sprint. For sure, I can say now that there is no Viego in the third game. That's just completely off the tables. But
I agree.
Was it just
100%.
a classic jungle gap, or what do you think? Where did Instinct go wrong?
It's also definitely a bot gap. I think. Don't count that Thresh out. I'm expecting Viego and Thresh back. You cannot give that Thresh over to the Snake. He was absolutely demolishing the bot lane. It was not even close. Like, they were just getting hooked over and over again.
Fair enough. I mean, if you guys did miss it, first game, DSG looking really good in the early stages, ended up throwing a bit of a top mispositional overcommit, kind of like a chain, getting picked into the Instinct comeback, into the Instinct win. Second game, however, they reset. They locked in the Scion again for game number 2 to get it over. And they basically just played it a lot better, and the Viego carry came through clutch. So third game, I mean, honestly, it could go either way. Only time will tell.
Yeah, at this point, like, I just want to see another beautiful game with some great drafts to come out, and yeah, then we can kind of see where these two teams are at. I'd be surprised to see DSG actually taking this series, and yeah, that would just prove how great their mental is and how confident they are to just reset and play the next game on a fresh set of champions and a fresh state of mind.
100% let the better team win, but we'll see you guys shortly. It's time for water, it's time for some refreshments before we head into game number 3, and we have our winner for the evening. See you guys soon. We're back again for game number 3, DSG Instinct. I mean, honestly, could you say that you're seeing the third game happening tonight from, if we went back to the start of the cast? I mean, is this a surprise to you? Do you feel like DSG have stepped up, or is this Instinct just not performing as well as we expected them to?
I kind of just think it's Instinct dropping the ball in draft. I think the bans were a little bit odd. Like, honestly, for me, the biggest mistake previous game was actually just not banning Thresh. Like, literally, you ban Thresh that game, Viego probably doesn't pop off, and then it's just a Viego versus a Skarner. Skarner ults someone. It's a 4v5. You win the game.
Yeah, I mean, personally, when I play Seraphine in the solo queue, I like to ban Thresh because it's one of those champs that it's such a hard champion to play into if the opposing support is good at it. I mean, a good hook into a Seraphine is just going to be a disaster. Likes of Pyke, the likes of Blitz, it's just something that does so well, and DSG showed us that they're just so comfortable on that pick, playing through bot lane, playing with that Lantern Flash, hook combo, and Viego, as a result, just getting super fit and just sprinting with the game. So for sure, we should see that ban coming through for the second or third match. Apologies.
So let's see. Oh, let's get ready to go into game number 3. And
Any predictions and picks?
I do want to see Thresh ban.
For sure.
I do want to see. I don't really care about the Hecarim. The Hecarim was a bit of a problem, but they deal with it really well in game number 1. I think the Maokai with the CC that I was providing was doing really well. No issues there. Maokai ban has to be there. Yeah, so I think just banning Maokai and Thresh, to be honest, banning the supports one tricks is probably a good place to start.
A good starting point,
and then
I agree.
Lucian, I would really like to see a Lucian. I feel like we just completely slipped past draft number 1, and in draft number 2 it got banned. So maybe there's a chance to see a Lucian Lilia combo coming out. That'd be nice to see. I'm sure we have some Lilia players, maybe not Journal, but potentially Zoe.
Yeah, I mean, draft is going to be very interesting for the third game. I mean, first game, generally players play quite safe. They like to sort of just feel each other out in the sense of like, can we play aggro? Can we play to just snowball? Second game, you see a lot more blood, a lot more kills early on in the game. I mean, for the first one, we didn't see anything really happen until about like the 13-14 minute mark. Second game, a little bit more, I guess, fun to watch, a little bit more play-by-play action coming through. Consistently throughout both games, we've seen DSG go, just get ahead in the early stages. They like that early game aggression, and Journal going for more of a let's try and scale type of playstyle, playing for the farm.
And we will be jumping into Champion Select in just a second. The Gnar ban is still there after 2 games. That one is not going to change. There must be some really scary Gnar that I'm not aware of. And the Hecarim ban coming out as well, which is exactly as I said. I don't think it's too important, but banning it is probably better than giving it over and letting Zoe pop off on another champion.
For sure.
Do we expect Thresh and Maokai here? There's the Maokai ban coming out. Surely the Thresh ban will follow.
Viego. Bye-bye.
Stat.
Fun and interactive champion. Thanks, Riot Games. Thresh, on the other hand, cool. He's off the table, but it's going to actually be DSG banning away, seeing as, I believe, Instinct.
Senna first pick. Woo, we're going to get Senna Cho bot lane. Please give it to me. I want to see this. I really do want to see that. That is so broken.
Senna, so we've seen both DSG and Instinct play that Senna fasting playstyle. I'm expecting that to be the case, as I don't think Senna support is particularly great unless you play it, or Senna AD carry either. The first pick on Rakan, I mean, nope, okay, we got you baited. I feel like that was a Yogi just saying, guys, just pick me the Rakan, I snowball, I stomp. The Teemo hover, I think that's a Totosaurus, that's Miggy tendency. Journal getting on that train. No way is that locked in.
Yeah, we're getting absolutely trolled here in Champ Select right now, and we will get that Rakan coming out.
Okay, so we do have the lock-in for Rakan support. This is one of, I believe, Yogi's go-to comfort picks when the Maokai is not available. He's been playing a lot recently, he's been doing pretty well with it, so we should see some fancy plays, some quickness coming through, and we'll have to see what he has up his sleeve for that one. The Seraphine, a bit of a miss in the hit or miss department, so let's see if his Rakan is a little bit better.
Ooh, Volibear, which has been a very prioritized pick. It was banned out twice in the previous games. And that is a really good jungler, I believe. I would hope to see it in the jungle, and it should be matching the Graves. It actually has way more ganking potential in the early game than the Graves has.
True.
Whereas
True.
the Graves kind of wants to farm a little bit more, and
We've consistently
That
had that
isn't-
Volibear taken on as well. Like Volibear, I am a sleeper AP jungler right now.
yeah, I'm not sure. Oh yes, it got it kind of got like it got nerfed and then disappeared. It was a big thing last season, and then I believe what happened was there were some indirect buffs. For example, they kind of nerfed the rest of the jungle, but Gromp was still relatively strong, and Gromp really is a great camp for Volibear to take. And yeah, he kind of just showed back up in the meta. He's been picked in pro play.
Is that a Fiora? I mean, Fiora pretty good into the likes of a set. In this case, keep in mind that they could always go for that fancy swap. We don't know if it's going to be jungle volley or set jungle. In this case, I'm kind of swinging more towards set up jungle volley, but we'll have to see.
I mean, we did
Flex.
see the Camille cover earlier, which I'm not sure if that was just me getting debated, but potentially not. It feels like it feels like we just want to see is it Rush? Or is it Rosh?
Yes.
Exactly.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Recent name changes coming through from the Instinct side. Everybody getting on the same page.
Rosh is probably just like, hey, listen, I beat Papa Smithy really hard in game number 1. And in game number 2, he smashed me. I need redemption. Give me the Fiora.
I mean, like, in theory, Instinct's one of the stronger players is that top lane. So putting him on something like a Cho'Gath just does not do that duty. Like, you're playing into another tank, you need to put him on a champion that can express the skill, like skill-expressing champion, and that is exactly what Fiora does. She is a mechanical champion. She goes for the fancy plays, and she goes for that split push. She cannot afford to fall behind in the early stages. So perhaps we see a bit of a different DSG playstyle for jungle, maybe more of a topside-oriented playstyle. Look to put Fiora behind and try and just win through that, opposed to the more standard bot lane set that we've seen for the first 2 games.
I'm not sure why this Lucian ban went out, to be honest. The Aphelios, Red Raven saying,
big sad. It's gonna be the Twitch. I'm calling it now.
Twitch Rakan is a pretty
Twitch
pog
locked in.
duo.
Like you said.
That's the plan there.
I
don't know what the Corki ban makes sense. I'm not sure about the Lucian ban. Malphite was banned last game in the second set of the draft, and it kind of slipped through. Oh my word, Orianna. This Wombo combo on DSG side is looking so good.
Honestly, I feel like Instinct have kind of like what's the word for it? They've kind of overcompensated on their bans now and completely changed their playstyle or draft to the point where they've just left open these like strong DSG picks that they want. And in this case, they're getting exactly what it's going to be the set in the bot lane, the fasting set center combo with the Malphite top or a mid lane and jungle volley. So they did have the counter pick onto that Fiora in this case. But like you mentioned, Twitch Rakan, super strong duo combination, as well as... Say again?
What?
Where did Alawi... What? I'm so confused. Where did Alawi come from?
What? Like, it all made sense, and then I was expecting Mage, and now I see Alawi, and I'm like, what is going on? Full AD, Twitch AP.
No, I'm gonna call that one. I don't think Red Raven is gonna go AP Twitch, but we see. I highly doubt we get that AP Twitch from him. He's not a fan of it. So
who else is gonna play AP though?
Yeah, they're a little bit AD heavy for sure. I agree with you on that one. So Alawi mid lane is Salt's go-to. It's one of his comforts. It's one of his sleeper picks. He likes to play into comps that have these super like tight team fights, lack a little bit of range, a little bit of distance. Not necessarily center, but the rest of the comp needs to commit the go ham button. Set ultimate picks you up, puts you in the team fight, and what does Alawi do? She counters exactly that.
Yeah, Alawi's like, run into me, let me ulti and just destroy all of you.
Give you 10 tickles.
Yeah, it's pretty much like I'm gonna say it's a budget Casio, if you ask me. No?
Kind of. I don't think Alawi requires as many hands, as many fingers to play compared to Cassiopeia. But
okay, that's fair.
The Malphite pick for sure is going to be an issue. Same with the volley. They can both go super tanky and the lack of AP means that Instinct are just not going to be able to shred these tanks. Same with Seth, they just have such a good comp to play into the likes of a full AD comp. So I'm actually liking the DSG draft a little bit more than Instinct for third game. I think Instinct dropped ball.
Yeah, I think this is 100% win draft hard on the SG. I mean, Malphite Oriana combo, that is like that is a dream.
It's the wombo.
That is the classic wombo from like 5 seasons ago. It's still really strong, you know. Yeah, I just feel like they have solid, like it just feels very well rounded. I mean, the biggest question mark for me is like we don't have any source of AP damage, and that's probably a big problem for Instinct as this game goes on. You get to a point where you stack armor.
Maybe we get the AP Twitch, but still, I feel like this is going to be Instinct needing to snowball this game, need to take the early game through the Fiora. I think if Fiora falls behind in the early stages, this game is done, and this is DSG taking series. But
And
like
that's if you look at this team comp, Graves is a farming jungler. He's not a ganking jungler.
True.
Volibear is a ganking jungler. So like DSG has the early game that it needs to get through to the late game wombos. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like Instinct's draft here is just, like you said earlier, a little bit overcompensated, and very, very large shift in playstyle here.
I definitely think the Instinct side has taken a knock with not having Duck involved, because Duck is normally the starting jungler for Instinct, but for this tournament it's a bit of a mixed roster with Yogi and Jonal stepping in. Jonal being a top laner, I feel like he's generally directing the team when it comes to champ select. Usually it's Duck, and perhaps that's the reasoning behind these kind of wonky drafts. I wouldn't say bad drafts, but rather interesting drafts from the side of Instinct, so perhaps a little bit of rookie mistakes coming through, but yet again, we'll see what happens with the comps. First or second game, Viego was let through the pick and ban phase. Third game now, they've basically overcompensated with all these bans, leaving open the DSG priority picks, the go-to comforts, the DSG like one tricks, quote unquote.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel like Instinct entered a bit on this draft, but hopefully they can prove me wrong and just play absolutely beautifully in game.
100%. Otherwise, we'll be jumping into the third game shortly, guys. May the better team win. Good luck to both, and we'll see you guys on the other side when we jump onto the Rift. Back at it again.
Welcome back to the
Game number 3. Let's
Mercedes-Benz.
go.
Mercedes-Benz ATK League of Legends Champion Series, and we're live. The first best of 3 that we are casting here on stream. All the other games going
Correction.
to 0.
First best
Am I
of
wrong?
3 that we've actually gone to the 3rd game. Because technically all of them have been best of 3s, but we have yet to actually get to that 3rd game. And I thought honestly it was going to be only in a little bit further down, like maybe week 3 or 4. Even 5, but it seems like we're actually going to be going there right now. I swear, Zoe, speaking of going places, finds himself that cheeky deep ward, wants to see where Jonal is going to be starting.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. At this point, just seems like standard. We've seen this every single time, both junglers putting down a ward and then recalling and going to where they're actually going to be starting. Whew, this Malphite is looking... I'm super scared. Like, if Rosh does not make early game plays, this is going to be a quick one. We'll be able to have dinner before 11.
We do have that early game cheese in the bot lane from Rakan Twitch. They have that aggressive playstyle.
I don't know about this one.
Like a Zyra Rakan to an extent, but that generally is the AP Twitch. In this case, he's gone for the standard AD. The Snake walking up Nick Wolf, the knockup, only finding one target. DSG, the Snake, Guardian, now Proxy. It will be somewhat even trade, perhaps even favoring Nick Wolf and the Snake, because they have sustain with the Senna heals. So
Interesting stuff.
Apologies about that, wrong mouse. So, looking at the mid lane matchup, we have a range into melee matchup with the Alawi. So, it could be kind of tricky, especially pre-6. I'm interested in particular to see what exactly the junglers do in terms of pathing this game. We've seen game 1 and game 2, the jungle for DSG play through that bot lane. In this case, they do not have the double tank top lanes. Jump engage level 2. Red Raven trying to push for level 2 as it does come through a little bit afterwards. Nick Wolf forcing the safe play, just opts to just back away instead. And it's going to just be an even out trade. Nothing too serious coming through from it as now volley paths to bot side jungle.
Yeah, everything's looking pretty standard. The Salawi is doing pretty well in mid lane. Yeah, I mean, I think I think Doran's Blade is probably standard even on AP Twitch. So we can't confirm that one.
No, Doran's Ring is actually pretty popular. Like, Doran's Ring is
Really?
a pretty good go-to for AP. But generally, with the AP variation of Twitch, you go for Halo Blades. In this case, he does not have Halo
Audacious.
Blades, so it's going to be the AD.
Yeah. Oh man, I really feel like this is one of those times where Red Raven probably should have took one for the team.
Missed opportunity.
Definitely a missed opportunity. Malphite is so stonks in this game. Absolutely maximum value from just going full armor.
It's not even a Malphite really, it's a Malphite volley and sets. The only thing they're lacking is that Rammus mid lane. Bot lane. Oh, Raven does get snared in place. The disengage flash. So Raven does have that invis, so the attempt at the gank not working out according to plan. Jonah, however, here for the punish. Yogi E and W combo not finding the knockup. So bot lane gank does end up netting them the flash. So we should see a bit of a repeat, perhaps a volley return into that bot lane for the immediate punish. Red Raven and Yogi cannot afford to be in the spot that they are currently. They have to shove the wave, or just hope that the side of DSG do end up pushing it back in. Ideal situation is to play under their tier 1 turret, but it seems like Nick Wolf knocked up in place. Red Raven a bit low as the tango in the bot lane continues, the back and forth.
Ooh, I was looking really close. At this point, I feel like as Senna said, you just want to farm up. You don't want to fight too hard because you're definitely gonna have.
Keep in mind though that it's the snack farming. It is fasting Senna.
Yeah. Regardless, Senna just wants to get souls. She doesn't have to be taking a fight for 2 all in.
Blue side TP.
Yeah, top lane is actually winning. By the way, upper level. Oh, that's just a wave pushing actually.
Yeah, I think
really
just give it a bit of
even
time.
into it.
We should see Fiora and Ashley start to pull through with a little bit of time. On the other hand, we had Jonal securing that bot side scuttle, so with the immediate repath from volley into the top side scuttle. Rush going for a little bit of a trigger happy pull, but it's going to be volley here for the gank. The flash is there, the snare, the damage. Papa Smurf, the trade won't be there. The disengage flash. What? You cannot afford to fall behind on the Fiora. He looked for the solo kill, and he's punished for the disrespect. Jonal not in a position for the counter.
Yeah, he didn't have a ward down there, and I mean he was pretty pushed in at the time, and it's just, oof.
Big
Wow.
sad.
Yeah, and it was so close. He was literally one order away from killing her, as you can see in this replay by Elgato.
But
And
that's
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
That's the risk you take when you don't know where the enemy jungle is and you go for the trigger pull despite that. I mean, it's something that should be communicated. You need to know, is it safe to go for this 1-for-1 play?
Yeah, 100%. And I
Shockwave.
just feel like
Salt, the flash counter, he goes for the kill, he finds it, does drop aggro just in time, beautifully played. How dare we doubt the Salt Alawi pick?
wow, that was disgusting. Salt's just like, I'm Alawi. I can tower dive and take 2 tower shots, and look at that ulti, beautiful coming out. Doesn't matter. Alawi slaps with the tentacles.
Wombat didn't even react. He has the flash, but he does not have that foresight for the Alawi tentacle ultimate flash combo, or the flash ult.
Yeah, the amount of games that I lose to Alawis are way too high, so I feel you. I feel
The
you.
fact that you
is,
can reposition that though, like that just it doesn't feel right with the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, Riot, please fix that. We
mean,
don't want it in the game.
You can do it with the Mew Mew as well, so I mean, you know, counterplay.
I guess. I guess. We do see, looks like Prio from bot lane DSG setting up for the dragon. Oriana also going to be coming in. Journal fancies some trading. Decides, hey, maybe I can't take this fight.
DSG for the 3rd game in a row now securing this first objective of Dragon. So not too sure if this is a decision by Instinct just to be conceding these first objectives, play for the farm instead, or whether it's a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that DSG are really good at these early game macro plays. They play it really, really well. They're getting the early dragons. They get the priority. It's just...
Knock up. A lot of damage with the Ignite is going to be dropped. Nick will force a flash on the W backwards. We keep seeing that as the flank comes through. Icewear looks for the turret dive. Doesn't even need to turn the electricity off on that turret as he completely ignores it. Raven's going to be revealed as Snake walking after. He has no flash. The rat is not in a good spot.
Bear.
And the big bear, the slow, but the speed up is going to be right there. The chase by Red Raven. Rest in peace.
I was actually really nervous about that fight. I don't think that you should be taking that fight as DSG because, like I said, you kind of just want to farm. But yeah, luckily the bear is there to salvage that fight and then pick up a kill for this side of DSG. Oh, is this potentially the mall fight falling?
Nope. Papa Smith. John off flashes, but he has to
Ronaldo,
reload. He
I
pops
want
the auto. Rush does
no.
pick up the 1-for-1 trade. It's not how you want it to be going, but I guess overall it does kind of work out. The gold handed over to Mr. Top Lane Instinct Roche X, but however plates do not drop, and that is the jungle sort of trading that top lane for bot lane play.
Yeah, in game 1 we had a very, very hard favored Instinct game. Game 2 we had DSG kind of having a rough early game and then really just popping off and taking over in the later stages of the game.
Cancel on that reset.
Yeah, just that little bit of cheekiness there by Salt. And here in game 3 we are 9 minutes in and it's dead even right now. Where's the bloodbath?
First game, we didn't even see a kill till like 13 minutes in. We're already at 5 kills, 9 minutes, game 3, so you can see both teams kind of warming up, playing a little bit more confident, saying, no, I don't care about your ranks anymore. I'm going to play like I normally play, in solo queue at least.
Yeah. I definitely think that this Malphite has stepped up from game 1 and game 2. He's performing a lot better than the nervous game that he had in game number 1, and we should see the Herald going over here to the side of Wallybet. DSG gonna pick that up. This is like I don't know. This Fiora pick is starting to feel a little bit odd to me.
Almost stacking coming through for top lane Papa Smith. I'm glad to see that he's not going for AP despite going for Comet.
That is also AD Twitch, as you kind of confirmed earlier with the ruins that have been chosen as well as the starting item. A little bit I mean, how much AP damage does the Lawi do? Not that much.
None. I think she's full AD. I don't even think she has magic yet.
Yeah, I
When
was
she
thinking
first
maybe
came
like an
out,
ulti.
I just assumed that she was AP from like just the way the champion looks and the playstyle, I guess. But apparently tentacles do physical damage, you know, when they crush you.
Yeah, I mean, these very magical tentacles could easily be AP.
Oh. Quickness does get the tag, but unfortunately there's nobody close enough for the chain, so you see they're looking for the damage, but the snake should be able to quite easily walk his way out of this one as he picks up the flash to position. And Jornal taken under the turret for that first kill, but the fight now continuing. Swear coming through for the chase. Disengage knockup. Flash failed actually as red side TP does join. It's going to be Alawi. She has the tentacle, she has the flash, I think. But the binding says no as the blue side TP comes through. Malphite. Unfortunately, Fiora not able to cancel with the 3-man knockup into the Raven special. The overextend into the death. Tentacles. Alawi trying to go for
I'm not done yet.
big play, but just not getting the damage. And that's going to be sold down as well as I swear. And the rest of DSG clean up the team fight. 11 minutes in.
Oh. That Malphite ulti was so beautiful, and this is just demonstrating the absolute comp diff that we see coming out of this draft. Wow.
I think honestly, if DSG just play the game correctly from this point, it should be done. It should be DSG victory with the nature of the comps. Just stack armor, just get that late game power spike where the lack of AP is gonna hurt Instinct.
Yeah, like I'm trying to find the silver lining for INT here. What can they do? Like, I mean, they really need to somehow get this Fiora to be able to be split pushing. She does have quite a farm lead after that TP.
True.
That is like what?
1 plates,
30
3
CS?
plates.
And 3 plates. So I mean, hopefully she at this point needs to carry the game. It's really on her. But like, what do you do against a Malphite who is stacking armor and a Volibear who is stacking armor? Ninja Taibi is already coming out. Shem Tank. This is... I feel bad. I feel like this is one of those games where it's like, whoops, we lost draft. Can we try this one again, coach?
Right, so we do have about 500 gold bounty lead in favor of top lane Fiora. So she's gonna need to try and use that invest wisely, you know, stonks, and hopefully they go up to the point where she's able to carry this game. The connection is gonna be the grab. Red Raven's here as well, but unfortunately just nope, opens the rat-tat-tat, the spray and pray. But not going to be enough. But the flash, however, burnt. You might want, but has TP for the reset as top lane. Nothing really happens. Dragon number 2 on the table.
Fnatic Brush?
Fnatic Brush? Fnatic Brush? Laui, the brush, red side TP, backlines. I swear, actually kind of low. He does go down. The shutdown. Jordan fighting the first one into the Instinct. Double kill. Shockwave, no. Res.
Yeah, Nick flashed into 4 people. I'm trying to get Red Raven there.
Okay, so we said, I could have sworn a few minutes ago, we said something about the game being done if they play it correctly. That right there is not correct. I don't know what I just watched, but Instinct managing to pull the trigger and finding that weakness, finding the vulnerability, and now it's up to Instinct to kind of just run with the gold they got back in. They're 0.3k ahead now. Can they kind of just send this advantage to a point where...
no, is this Smurfy going down here? Surely he's gonna get run down.
Not like this. This is painful to watch.
Oh, he doesn't.
This is painful to watch. He has no mana.
Oh no! Literally everyone on the side of DSG who we just praised literally just dropped one by one. Instead of playing the Wombo, they kind of just don't know what that was. A split fight, kind of looking for some dragon vision.
Papa Smurfy kind of going hit and miss. Like first game, he overextended multiple times. He got picked off and he got punished and instantly kind of just ran with it. The second game he played it like exactly how he had to. He played it to the T. Third game he's starting to show a bit of weakness. The cracks are showing yet again. But he has skill, he has time on his side. He needs to slow it down, recover the mental, and just make sure not to make that mistake again. Fiora, however, now in a very, very good spot. First item completed on DSG. Papa Smurfy still kind of sitting with that lucky packet build. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, but a lot of armor overall.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were really happy with the fact that he was doing armor, but now he might be going AP with that. Yeah, that's
he's going Zhonya's. He's going Zhonya's. So it's not too bad. Yogi, quickness, 2-man, doesn't get the knockup, however, it's going to be the damage. I swear, does not want to die, but he does end up lead ultimate trigger pull from Nick Wolf. Senna just not having that cross-map communication and foresight. So Instinct actually just trying to run with this lead that they've picked up from that objective. And DSG back in a bad spot again.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing DSG doing exactly what their comp doesn't want to do, which is taking skirmishes against the likes of Instinct. You can't be taking a skirmish like this.
Wolf, where are you walking? You've got no vision. Should die. Journal finds the kill. The fight, however, continue picking up, put him back in the snack, just trying to get away as the shockwave finds nobody.
Raven.
It's a bit of a B5 all over again with that shockwave. The Oriana cosplay.
Yeah, Red Raven and just died to tower. Like, what is this game? I feel like everyone is just.
Wait, did Raven die to turret? Please tell me you didn't say that. Did Raven just die to the tier 2 turret? Because that's a Red Raven special. Dude, Red Raven, like that, you know, like, we thought we've been through this, Red Raven. We've gone over this multiple times. We try to fix it, but no. Like, tendencies will show.
Can't fix Red Raven specials. Yeah, also, like, at this point, somehow Instinct is back in the, like, what on earth? They have a 4K gold lead at this point. They have mythic items before DSG have mythic items, even though DSG had the start that they needed to take this game.
I don't know what you guys are going on about, but Papa Smurfy's 16 minutes in, he's already full bold. The band's got a fully locked out item shop.
Love to see it. Love to see it. 6 items already. That Ruby Crystal coming in clutch.
Right,
yeah,
so
like at this point, can you even salvage this? Like, it's a wombo combo, but now Fiora's online. Fiora can split push and just be like, deal with me.
Like Fiora, they did a good job of keeping her down in the early stages, but then they kind of just did what they were meant to not do. There was one way to throw this game, and they found that way. Obviously, DSG still in a decent spot. Like, they've kind of fallen behind now with misplays, like just not playing the macro correctly, taking fights when they don't have to, but they are playing for time. All they gotta do is slow the game down, get it to that 35-40 minute mark, and it's pretty much a guaranteed win. So right now, just clear waves, avoid fights, give up dragons if you have to. You do not need the drakes, just let them go. Like, play for the gold, play for the skill.
Yeah, 100%. At this point, DSG needs to scale so hard. They just need to get the armor that they need so that they can survive this, because there is no AP. Like, that is, I mean, the best thing on this team is basically the Divine Sunderer, which has armor penetration and magic penetration. So, like, and obviously also is the Kraken Slayer isn't bad, but armor is still pretty good.
Right, so current state, 18 minutes in, 4K gold lead in favor of Instinct. Bot lane, Wombat here to answer Salt. Salt has teleport, Wombat does not. So if Instinct can find some form of topside play, they are welcome to do so, because there will be no reaction from the likes of DSG. Hopefully that has been communicated, and DSG play, just basically play for vision, play safe, and do not get caught off.
Yeah, we do have dragons spawning, and I don't want to see DSG contesting this. Yeah, also just a fun note on the dragons here. Instinct got very lucky, as the dragon that they got was actually the mountain. That is so good.
Is on their side. Dragon number 2 secured now. DSG not even looking for the play, which is fine. Like I said, give the dragons. You do not need to fight for them.
Yeah, so it's just so good that they got the mountain dragon, because if you put a 6% increase to armor and magic resistance on this DSG comp, it's even worse than it currently is looking. So definitely some nice RNG there for the side of Instinct.
So I'm interested to see where they put Rush. He has the Rift in the pocket, so I'd like to see him go side lane. Currently he's catching mid-wave, with Raven rotating back through to mid now as he does reset, enhance recall in hand. Baron, technically the next objective. Realistically, I don't really see either side going for it. One of the advantages of having a full AD comp is that they tend to do Baron quite quickly, so it is potentially an option for Instinct if they send multiple DSG members down towards bot side, but realistically I don't see that happening. In this case, Roche is just looking to try create split pressure as Instinct try pull DSG up towards top side so they can get some value off of that Rift drop.
How is Nick down 2 levels? Like, I know he's fasting, but what happened?
He's probably just been trying to get vision around a lot, but it looks like he may just have a fight for the blue buff. Yogi from this. It's Papa Smurfy! No!
Oh, no.
Not like this, please.
the key ability that we really want to see in these team fights is that Malphite ulti, and it's just absolutely
Plays
missed
it
everyone.
too shallow. I mean, you've got to assume the Rakan is going to dash out. Adjust accordingly. Take wind into account, and like I said before, Rush dropping the rest of the tier 2 bot lane, so they do get a little bit more gold in the pocket as they find their 4th turret to the 1st of DSG.
Yeah, this is looking really good. Surprisingly, considering the state of the team comps. At this point, you just cannot afford to give Baron over, because if you give Baron, you're just losing so much gold on the map, and then at that point, it's like, yes, you have the wombo combo, but if you're 10,000 gold behind, does it even matter? You know?
True. 6k
Also,
currently.
this like Senna, dude. I'm level
Like,
9
Senna-
to level 11.
Senna scales incredibly well. Red Raven likes to pick Twitch into Senna because he feels like it does scale quite
Just as well.
harder,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I mean, Senna has infinite scaling, but realistically, we don't get to that point. So Twitch should be like a good answer to the Senna pick, the fasting Senna, because it scales incredibly hard, if not harder, in some of the early stages.
Yeah, no, it's 100% way better. I'm an ex-Twitch main myself. And really what it is like you have a better mid game, and you have the only downside is that when we get to really late game, when Senna has like a lot of range, then it gets a little spicy, because if you don't play the ulti on Twitch really well, you actually can just lose.
Okay, so
because you get outranged so hard.
We have the first item now complete for Malphite. Question is, who do you send to match the Fiora? Malphite should technically be there, but at the same time, I don't think he's in a position where he can, and it looks like Rush is going to look for the pick. He gets the ankles, they're broken, as Shockwave yet again, a Lance series special. Unfortunately, 1v1 Wombat was not the correct answer to that question, and as a result, Instinct in a really good spot.
Yeah, that it should be Papa Smithy down there, because he really slows down the attack speed of this Fiora by so much, and he has Omen, which greatly reduces the amount of damage you take from auto attacks, and definitely on that AD train.
You just
We
need
still
someone to
haven't
stand on the turret and clear wave.
And he's also the only person who hasn't gotten a mythic yet, which is...
It's something.
It's definitely something.
So,
But I
you
mean,
said,
I guess what mythic do you build?
Red Raven pops open the Ratatat. Snick Wolf
Yeah,
answering with the heal. Playing that a little bit safe, I think. I'm pretty sure he was fine.
How do you know that Red Raven is the head right now? He's got a shutdown? That's how you know. 1 and 2 with a shutdown.
Just stack armor, guys. 4 hits. Joking. But, okay, so you said that you were an ex-Twitch player, right? Real question, or are you an L9 fanboy? Were you part of the cringe kids?
Actually, no. I'm not a fan of L9.
Okay, just so you have to ask. It's like a standard question. Speaking of...
Yeah.
Baron now started up. Do we get the sneak, though?
Ooh.
Red Raven creating the pressure, creating the distraction, the Sneck and DSG thinking that they get the pick, but it's actually just an elaborate ruse. It's the bamboozle, as Senna actually using ultimate to get vision. As a result, Instinct opt to just peel away, so they are cancelled. Good decision. I respect the fact that they peeled off of it. DSG...
Yeah, I call that a skill check. I was just like, do you guys know we're doing Baron right now?
Oh, dragon rotation. Looking at the DSG side comp, they have a lot of... Oh, wait, no way. Salt? Salt, the big 5-man flash ultimate. Looks like it's going to be sent to Lita instantly. Instinct follow through. The rest of the gang are here. It's the advantage that they have assembled. The Snack, the new focus, as he's just trying to get away. Oh, apologies.
What?
The Snack does end up going down, and it's going to be Rush forced to flash over the walls. I swear the new focus is going to be, unfortunately, multiple members on the side of DSG now dead as Instinct clean up. Do they rotate through to the Baron or just finish off the Dragon?
I mean, who needs a wombo combo if you have an Alawi?
How dare we, like, even doubt the Alawi pick? We, like, time and time again, he's just proven it to be so effective.
I don't know. I don't even know how this game got to the point where it is now. How DSG had everything they needed. They had the draft. They had the early game kills. And then was just like, let's roll the dice. Let's take skirmishes. And now here we are. The question is, can DSG hold on from a 9,000 goal deficit and get back into this game.
Just slow the game down, clear the waves. You don't need to do anything flashy. You don't need dragon objectives. You don't need to contest the Baron, although you have a decent combo for exactly that. They have a really strong like choke point, full trigger kind of comp. But they just need to get to a point where they have enough resources, enough gold funneled into them, that the fact that the inside team, like the gold difference, is just made up for. Play for that win condition. You won the draft, so play accordingly. Just respect the fact that you don't know where Lowy is and check your corners.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was a little bit weird. They were 5-man face checking with no vision on Dragon, even though it was spawning. That's a little bit odd. Again, it just feels like DSG is this amazing team in the early game that do so well, and then it just all falls apart as we get into the macro and later stages of the game.
It's not a bad thing to have. A lot of teams have an issue where they scale really well. They don't have early game like strength. Having a team that has an early game strength that has a bad macro is something that you can fix a lot easier. Yogi disengage. Lowy does get the grab. It's going to be unmodified, forced to walk away as he is rooted in place yet again. DSG just trying to clear wave. They're trying to play it slow. They don't need to do anything fancy. They don't have to pull trigger. You misplay at this point. You lose an inhibitor. You potentially lose Nexus. You reverse a team that has Baron, and you just cannot afford to take a fight that you cannot guarantee this day.
Dude, the level differences are huge. Level 16 to level 14 in the top lane, 3 levels down in the jungle.
So in a flank position, he's still level 50. He should be playing. Oh, okay, trigger pull. I'm not too sure where Lowy is looking. He does pop the orb with a stopwatch from Malphite. Papa Smurfy, the tank himself, is just going invulnerable as Lowy does end up dropping the shutdown, handed over Oriana. On the other hand, traded back, so that's going to be 1-for-1. When Raven finds that top lane kill, Zhonya's not keeping it alive with a flash, not even used as Roche just able to keep himself alive, plus finds that inhibitor, but the fight continuing. Instinct just looking to try and push through for the finish if they have that Baron, and Nick Wolf still full health in the top side. Red side TP, Roche looking to rejoin as the Nexus in sight. Nick Wolf the lone member alive, and it seems like Instinct may just take the victory off of this. They will. Nick Wolf rest. No flash, no peace. He's still alive. And GG, well played. Instinct pulling the game back when the odds in the deck is stacked against them. GG, well played. Series Instinct.
I don't know what I just watched. Dude, this series was an absolute banger. Wow. I don't think anyone could have predicted this. Wow, this was just what a game.
I mean, DSG showed us they have potential. They're here to tango. Dude, Instinct, if you don't step up, they will take your series and they'll run with it.
And they totally will. And it just feels like DSG really have the early game down. All it takes right now is just a little bit of just reworking, coaching around that mid game, vision control, and yeah, just kind of making it happen in the macro. Just pick.
For sure. I mean, genuinely thought this was going to be the 2-for-0 series, especially with the way the first game went, but DSG stepping up quite hard. Are you mentally preparing your questions to roast whoever Instinct sends through to us? Because we've got the firing range. Keep that in mind, Instinct. You're gonna send through like a tribute. That man's not gonna come out alive after this mental broken. As we do prep for the post-game interview. If you guys missed it, Instinct taking that third game very closely. DSG playing incredibly well, for sure. A lot of potential.
Yeah, it also just kind of feels like this. Honestly, this bruiser composition, even though it's like, who needs AD? Who needs AP at this point? I mean, like, if you have an Alawi and a Fiora who are just gonna like completely destroy the team, who cares?
I mean, how dare we even doubt the Alawi pick? I mean, what's it? LS is quite a big Alawi mid fanboy, and I think that's where Salt originally picked it up from. I mean, if you can play Alawi, try it. Try it. We've seen the likes of Renekton mid. We've seen some spicy Nocturne mid in the past. So why not Alawi? Take the tentacles to the mid lane.
Cool. So that's
So just summarize
the
series for anyone that maybe missed some of the previous games. Well, run us through a quick one paragraph summary of what exactly we may have missed.
Yeah, so it was really just like an absolute banger of a series. Game number 1 was very much dominated by the side of Instinct. They absolutely popped off. They got the signature one-trick pony Maokai pick which was really good, and showed a lot of value. He was really getting objective control. They got the soul, and they just steamrolled the game and won the game. And then in game number 2, we had a really interesting draft where neither of us were really sure what was going to happen in this draft. There was a question about the Kassadin mid. The Zaya felt really odd. Yeah, it was very interesting to see, and just somehow DSG just made it work. Absolutely popped off in game number 2 and took the victory. And yeah, final game, here we are. Just if you didn't just watch it, I'm sure you just watched it. Yeah, that was just don't know. DSG won draft and lost game. Alawi, diff, mid, 2-star.
Alawi gap. We'll be back shortly for the post-game interview. Right, so I believe it's going to be Red Raven as well as Yogi the bot lane from the likes of Instinct joining us for the post-production. In your opinion, MVP of the series, what are you thinking?
On the side of Instinct, right?
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm gonna say the mid lane. That Alawi in game just game 3. Alawi was just too much.
Okay, so Alawi, I mean, did he make up enough in the third game to grab MVP from first and second as well? Because it's overall series.
Okay, overall series. I mean, what was happening in game 2? The Echo, yeah, the Echo was pretty good too. He got some solo kills as well. No?
I don't know. I don't think his Echo kind of featured really, honestly. I think if anything, third game, as Fly is attacking me, third game, it was definitely a combination of, I believe, mid lane, top lane. Fiora got to get that honorable shout out, doing some work.
I wanted to give it to Fiora as well.
Otherwise, from the DSG side, the Viego, the new jungler, international, showing us that he has some tricks up his sleeve for sure. But nonetheless, we have DSG. Nope, that's not it. We've got Instinct bot lane joining us. What's up, Raven and Yogi, guys? Welcome. GG, well played. Oh, they don't have rights to talk in this channel. Oh, we forgot about that.
We fix one problem and get another problem.
I'm wondering why they're sitting here so patiently and so quiet. I thought they may be waiting for us to finish. Let me see if we can.
Yeah, like real patient people.
We
Nah,
can do that quickly.
Happen. Cool.
Can you guys speak now?
I see one person unmuted. Both look like they're unmuted.
They're still muted, but they're okay. You know.
We shall get this sorted out.
Fix this.
Don't you worry. Yeah. In the meantime, just like what a series. Honestly, I think across the board, everyone was playing really well. I definitely do think that the mid lane deserves. Yeah, his Victor in game 1, I said, was really great. It's coming back to me now. He was on Victor in game number 1, and he was absolutely popping off. And I think it was like 9-1 at some point. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get
Other
through
people...
we're gonna have that sorted. Gonna quickly jump to another channel, as we do hopefully have them joining us. So if you guys did miss it, like Tankers explained, basically really close series. Honestly, DSG stepping out quite hard, showing us they want to be a top esports scene team in the SA scene, and like if they can just fix that macro issue for sure, they're gonna be able to bring it to that point where they're actually able to tangle with the likes of the ATK and whatnot. So best of luck. Hopefully their practice going forward is actually effective. Like we said before, fix that issue of late game macro. You guys know where you're weak now, and just work on it. That's the first step to improve. Right, Yogi, Red Raven, can we get that sound check? Are you guys here? Can you speak? What's up?
Yo, what up?
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk.
Raven, you sound exhausted, dude. Did you have your nap today?
Yes, no, I didn't actually.
Is that why you played so poorly?
Okay. Okay. No, first two games, I had I was on my phone because my internet was too bad, to be honest. But now third game, I had my actual internet, so that was nice, but it didn't make a difference. So yeah.
So you're saying that it was phone gap? Is that what happened second game?
No, what? Oh no, dude, I don't know, dude. It is what it is, dude. I don't know. You can speak about it.
What do you think about that thresh pick in game number 2? You gonna ever let that one through again?
Yeah, we got absolutely rolled in game 2. So we're just gonna pretend it never happened and just move on.
That's a good mindset to have.
We were trying a draw, but we're not comfortable on it. So
Coach was like, pick Seraphine, and I was like, I have 2 games in Seraphine. He's like, you can play it, trust. And I was like, okay, let's go. So then we picked Seraphine. I did my best. I don't know. We got stomped bots, and then
I didn't really have fun much any of the series because I just was there, you know. I didn't do much.
So standard competitive. It seems like this is pretty much Trend Raven, where it's like the Instinct side and Red Raven. I don't know.
No, but dude, come on. The jungler is 9 times bot. Come on.
True.
Yeah,
The bot lane
it's
sits.
an absolute bot nightmare, is
Dude,
what that
like
is.
every team I verse, they just hate me, dude. I don't want to do 2 people, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. I think because their strong lane is bot lane, so it must be.
yeah, the bot lane was pretty good.
So then I must just, I don't know. Maybe I should just learn to play better weak side bot lanes. I guess that's my issue.
Talk to us about the yeah, Karen.
Because every champion I'm playing is kind of needs a little bit of like help, you know. Because this if they just camp bots, it's kind of doomed. So yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Not doomed. It's not doomed. It's doomed for us. It's doomed for us. The top. We're lucky we have like a good top side and mid side, so we always win that side no matter what. So yeah.
Okay, so second game they picked Thresh, but they left the Phileas open instead, opting for the Xayah pick. What was your thoughts behind that? Like, what generally Thresh Phileas really strong, but perhaps a little bit scared to pick it early in case they verse the likes of like a super CC heavy comp.
Who them?
Them, yeah.
Yeah, them.
I don't know, dude. Phileas is only you should only play Phileas if you can really play it. You can be punished quite heavily.
True.
And I didn't really want to play Phileas because I don't know. I just had a feeling what Phileas hates what they just did. They just camp
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why I was like, I'm not keen on playing Phileas these games because, like, Phileas from behind is like at least Twitch can come back or was it like Jinx can like come back, but Phileas like yes he can come back, but it's a little bit harder, you know. In my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's
Gotcha.
why I just don't prioritize the Phileas because I think I know what to pick. I just need to pick like some. I'm thinking like maybe what's a good weak side bot? I don't know.
Heimerdinger, JK.
No, it's actually it wouldn't be bad. What's a good weak side?
Right,
bot?
so how do you guys feel about the drafts overall in today's series? Are you guys happy with the way that Instinct drafted, or are you guys kind of on the fence with it, other than the Seraphine second, third game pick?
Raven, you want the one or what?
We just play our style, you know. We have our own unique style that doesn't. I don't think.
So is that what we're calling it? Are we going with style? Is that the word?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, like
game 1, game 2, like I don't think like yes, we don't get early leads, but I don't think many SA teams can get like close out games because we like to play.
True.
Like I don't like even like teams like ATK. Like I think like they will even struggle, but maybe we'll see. I don't know.
Okay. The one other thing I have is the game number 3 draft. You guys realize that you had no AP at all,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not even AP Twitch.
My coach almost had a stroke when I said pick Malawi.
Yeah.
He was like,
So did we. Did we were like dying?
I've played a lot of comps where I don't know. I think going full AD is not as bad as it used to be because you can go Kraken. I would have gone Kraken. I would have gone
Grudge,
Kraken.
probably.
Lord Dominic's IE, and then and then would have been able to kill tanks a lot easier. And maybe I would have gone Runans into Black Cleaver. So then I would have just gone try straight armor, and then Lawi does percentage health damage, which is always nice. It's like, and then
that Lawi flank was kind of tough. Like that was something. I gotta say
Yeah,
that
man,
Lawi
it's
Dragon. Shout out
Also,
to Salt.
It doesn't matter how full AD if Lawi can.
No,
I don't know. She does too much.
I don't know if I
don't
agree with that one. I feel like third game should have actually been DSG victory if they played the macro correctly. But you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you're right.
One more thing.
They're 3 tanks into Alawi, so I think Alawi is good there. Even though it's full
yeah,
AD,
but you just don't stack kind of thing. Don't 5-man into Alawi, bait out the ulti, and then it's pretty free. You just naturally win through time. I mean, you just stack armor. You guys have no AP whatsoever.
What are good bots? Weak side bot lanes because I actually.
Israel did.
Oh yes, Israel. Varus.
No.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay, well you guys got some time to next game, so you can figure out the picks.
No, I just think it's the last game we also played. It was like It was rough because they also played around bot lane, and yes, dude, I don't know how to do it. It's like it's so rough, you know. I don't know. And maybe it's just the champs I'm playing that's making it hard for me to do anything.
100%. Otherwise, guys, any GG played again on the series win. Any shoutouts for anybody that perhaps came to watch you guys in particular tonight?
Shout out to my boy Yuandre for flaming us in the chat. Appreciate it. Shout out to everyone watching. Appreciate the support. Yeah, go.
Raven?
Shout out to the DSG guys because they are my friends. So well done to them.
And that was a good game. That was a really, really beautiful series
Yeah,
to watch.
fun series to
Like, it was
cast, for
super
sure.
close.
I don't know how we got that second game. We were just like, so this game is probably doomed, or Yogi. So we just need cheese. We just need hope and and some of it worked. So I don't know. It was gonna be actually.
Yeah, I saw the Fnatic death pushes were everywhere.
Yeah, dude. We just like we don't know how to come back in. Yeah, we entered it too hard, but mid lane it's also, I don't know how it happened there, but yeah. So we just like, yep, we need to do something, you know, or it's just doomed, and it almost worked. It was crazy.
Cool. Otherwise, guys, I hopefully see you some more in future casts. But again, well played, and thanks for coming through for the post game interview.
Cheers.
Sweet.
Thanks a
Cool.
lot.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Right, Tankers, thoughts on the series overall? Any closing out thoughts? Anything in particular that comes to mind? Again, I think MVP probably going to Salt for that Alawi, even though he perhaps didn't have the greatest first and second games. That Alawi in particular, kind of bringing the entirety of Instinct to that series victory.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't think his game 1 was that bad. He was dealing quite a lot of damage on
True.
the Victor, but game 2 was a bit... yeah, it makes it hard to give it to him. But I definitely think at the end of the day, it does go to Salt. And yeah, for anyone who hasn't watched all the games, I would suggest go watch game number 2. It was an absolute nail-biter of a game where it was super close, and yeah, it really made DSG work so hard for that game number 2. And yeah, there's a world where DSG could have taken that. Definitely.
100%.
The whole
Again,
series.
like DSG know where they're weak now. Work on the macro. You guys have identity. You've had a really, really good start to the series, and for sure could look to basically be a top SA team if you just put in the work and put in the practice. Otherwise, for myself, Sheepy, as well as Tankers, I think we're going to call David tonight, guys. We do have those replay clips, so enjoy those. Otherwise, we'll see you again, I believe, next week, Thursday, for the next cast.
Thursday at 8. See you
Should
then.
be good. Good night, guys.
Enjoy your Sunday. The snake takes some free damage to get in there.
Ghost now popped
Hello?
Necro, Onslaught Shadows, no flash, but it means that DSG are gonna get the pick beautifully executed. It's gonna be Red Raven going down for that first blood. The fight now continues, the roots do come through. It's gonna be Iceway down as Yogi support Maokai finds the kill into the Nick Wolf Kaiser. DSG Lesnek actually let dead as INT find that T5 victory. Secures the backline, lockdown places the sapling, looking to try and bait them towards us. Victor finds the damage. Papa Smurfy now stuck between 3 members on the side of INT. Flash prediction as he get it off. The W shield flash. Despite having a little bit less presence, perhaps the fact that he's been getting caught off so many times in these objective fights. Good face block. Joe Null says, no, where are you going, friend? Passive form. What are you doing? Instinct is the killer. Instinct. No. Shut
That
down.
was nice. Fight goes
With
on.
Raven?
Jinx gets a kill, going excited, still looking for more.
Starting to get a little bit stronger as Nick Wolf for the reposition. Killer Instinct says no. Trying to get his way out of this one. He has Scion, but he's not going the right direction. Popped into the delivery system. Hello, good. Flash the mist. Wombat almost actually flashing into it as John Shield does pop through. Wombat going so low, goes down. It's gonna be the secure now, 13-10. Top side chunking away the tier 2, which is not too important. They have Rush walking his way down, seeing as the teleport not available.
He does have TP as just disengaging from that. Is there a
Blue side
TP? What is
TP,
wrong?
Scion looking. Papa Smurf, are you
lagging?
okay, my dude?
I'm a little bit worried for this man.
Saying hi. Sampling plays showing off the flash, and Nick Wolf does get the last order. He does not just get the reposition. And the stride breaker coming through for Icewear as the Journal connection finally there on the ultimate here to join. But it looks like Papa Smurfy able to survive as the top lane attempt for INT. Nope, I take that back. Rocket says, no, you're not escaping this one.
Yeah,
Down, double kill, traded over as Maokai ends up dead. It's going to be Corky and the Kaiser gone as the flag's going to be there. Papa Smurfy just too late, unfortunately, for that respawn teleport flag. Instead, Red Raven able to find a kill. So no growth, but in this case, Red Raven showing us that he does not have that fancy feat, the chain CC DSG. Go big.
there's a little bit more value on the side of a Cho'Gath with that true damage.
Red Raven has no flash. He's going to be punished for it. Barley is set working out again as DSG could at least does find Yogi for the lockdown, but unfortunately only going to be a John Al dropping just so far. The reposition Icewear takes second form. He goes big. He's looking for the Red Raven route. He gets it. And that is going to be the VA. I told you he wanted the redemption game. He said, no, I had a rough first game, but second game, I'm coming back and I'm showing us Munal Soul finding one for Instinct in the mid lane. He does a Junal kind of just wasting the ultimate, but hang on, Scion, Papa Smurfy, Rush just not finding the knock-up, but the flash auto, what am I watching? Junal takes the aggro, but it does end up working out. But the rest of the team on his back, if they have a mechanics big combo, the Chain CC Nick Wolf forced to try Featherstorm as well. This was the flash is going to be the Rocket, not able to find Nick Wolf, but the collateral damage as the attempt in the top side for Seraphine. You're now locked in place. Zoe forcing the flash out. Red Raven just doing the best he can to get as much damage out, but it looks like he's going to be locked in place as in DSG just rushed through. The snake has Lantern, so Wombat has disengaged. T5 does break out Seraphine, finding the snake into the chain. Wombat ends up dead into the double pick, so they give the dragon over, but they find themselves some cheeky kills. Dives into the kill bot lane or backside swear, but it's going to be DSG Wombat for the collapse there between two turrets and a Fern. Rush in this case, just able to flash away as Instinct just overcommit.
Caught by the Diego on the back of that fight, and it just fell apart as soon as Red Raven fell.
Rush was out, but he ends up going back in. Rest in peace. Though finds Skarner instead. He's going to be now looking to walk up and find himself the double. He does. Red Raven, the last order into the reset. Not going to be there. The turn back in the rift. Walk the kite. The trade. The 1-for-1 as DSG clean as T5. I think they've made the mistake of leaving Diego.
Diego and Thresh. Let's not forget how much this Thresh is doing. Meanwhile, Nick is not
also on the plate. The Seraphine ultimate will not find as red team do find the dragon. It's gonna be a bloodbath for Instinct as first the jungler, then mid lane dead.
Yeah, it was all
hit. It's gonna be next Echo traded over as DSG look to try clean up despite that Elder Drake. Papa Smurfy the disrespect, the triple kill from Red Raven into the turn. Papa Smurfy finding that 1-for-1 trade as the quadra kill comes through. And also with the immediate repath from Volley into the top side. Scuttle Rush going for a little bit of a trigger happy pull, but it's going to be Volley here for the gank dead. The flash is there, the snare, the damage. Papa Smurf, the trade won't be there. The disengage flash. What to go for this 1-for-1 play?
Yeah, 100%. And I just feel like
Salt the flash counter. He goes for the kill. He finds it. Does drop aggro just in that turret as he completely ignores it. Raven's gonna be revealed. The snake walking after him. He has no flash. The rat is not in a good spot. And Big Bear the slow, but the speed up is gonna be right there. The chase.
Surely ball fight falling.
Nope. Papa Smurf. John off flashes, but he has to reload. He pops the auto. Rush does pick up the 1-for-1 trade. It's enough for the chance. You see them looking for the damage, but the snake should be able to quite easily walk his way out. This way he picks up the flash to reposition. And Jonal taking out the turret for that first kill, but the fight now continuing. Swear.
No, is this Smurfy going down here? Surely he's gonna get run down.
Not like this. This is painful to watch.
Oh, he doesn't. He has ulti.
Painful to watch. He has no mana.
Oh.
He's probably just been trying to get vision around a lot, but it looks like we may just have a fight for the blue buff. Yogi from this. Papa Smurfy, no!
Oh, no!
Not like this, please.